Well, the more this crisis deepens, the more we're learning about the impact of the virus. Over 16,000 people in England and Wales died in the week to April the 3rd, and more than 1 in 5 of them had coronavirus. Our correspondent Helen Smith has this analysis.
The numbers behind this story are very grim, and increasingly we're learning they may be telling an incomplete story. Now, the Office for National Statistics reports the number of recorded deaths every week. For the latest week recorded, the 14th week in the year, up till April the 3rd, 16,387 people have died. Now, while not all of those were COVID deaths, if you need any further evidence of the severity of this crisis, just look at how that compares to the weekly deaths so far this year. The bars there show every week back to January, and the line shows the 5-year rolling average. That latest bar is a huge jump, and it's actually the highest weekly total since the ONS started compiling this data all the way back in 2005. Now, 21.2% of those deaths had COVID-19 mentioned on the death certificate. Let's compare the total number of deaths to those released by the Department for Health and Social Care at the time. You can see while the trend is very similar, there is that big gap there between those two lines. Now, according to the ONS, there were 6,235 deaths in England and Wales by April the 3rd. But at the time, that lower line there, the government only reported just over 4,000. So why this big gap, and what does it tell us? Well, firstly, it demonstrates the delay in reporting, but also it tells us something about the gaps in the government numbers. If we take, for example, the deaths registered by April the 3rd, 4,122. Just 90% of those happened in hospital, leaving 10%, 406 there to be exact, that happened in the community. Now, 217 of those deaths were in care homes, 136 happened within people's homes, 33 were in hospices, 3 were in other communal places, and 17 were described as having happened elsewhere. So far, only hospital deaths have been included in the government numbers. Now, if we bring back that first column that showed the latest weekly death numbers, the concern here is not just those COVID deaths that have caused the jump in those numbers above that 5-year average, but it's also the other deaths. There's a chance that some of those extra deaths there could have happened as an indirect result of the pandemic, perhaps people not presenting at hospital when they should be. As the crisis continues, sadly, we may not have seen the worst of its effects.
Helen Smith reporting. Well, many people are working from home at the moment on government advice, and yet Parliament itself has long resisted moving out of the Palace of Westminster and letting MPs take their seat from home instead of in the Commons. But is it really logistically possible to put 650 people on a video call? And how would a virtual parliament work? Well, joining me now is Dr. Ruth Fox of the Hansard Society, who has written about how it might be able to work, and she joins me now. Ruth Fox, nice to see you. So how do you make a virtual parliament work?
Well, I think the first thing is you don't have to have 650 MPs on a call. As you know from working in and around Westminster, it's only the big set piece events like the budget, sometimes Prime Minister's questions, the Queen's speech, where all the MPs have to cram into the chamber. So best guess is you probably need 100, 120 maximum at any one time. And you can use things like speakers lists to manage the interventions of the MP in a more orderly way. So I think it can happen, and clearly that is what the Speaker is planning with the members of both houses.
But even 100, 150 people is an awful lot to juggle. I mean, there'd be tiny little squares on a screen, wouldn't they?
They would, and clearly that's one of the technological limitations. But as I say, you know, members, we're not going to have debates online in the same way. What we're going to have is actually effectively is a more interrogatory, a question and answer type approach to proceedings. And I think what you'll see is that members who want to speak will have to give an indication to the Speaker in advance, or using, you know, online chat sessions, and he will and the clerks will have to manage. But as I say, the interventions of members as they go along. So nobody's going to say it's perfect. Of course, it's not. But in the circumstances, it's manageable.
Is this, do you think, what's going to happen when MPs are back on the 21st of April? And if so, is it going to be a tailor-made system, or will they be using something like Zoom, or I suppose House Party would probably be more appropriate?
And the clerks will have to manage. Well, my understanding is that they are using a tailor-made system, working with their technology partners for a tailor-made system, but it will be very, very similar to things like MS Teams, Zoom. Will it happen on the 21st? No. On the 21st, the House has got to reconvene. Not all members. The parties will be managing how many members have to come into Parliament, but they will have to move and pass a motion for how it is that they are going to manage proceedings in the future. So on the 21st, I would expect to see Jacob Rees-Mogg, Valerie Vaz, the shadow leader of the House, debating exactly how it is that they're going to move proceedings online, and a minimal number of members in the chamber to enable that to happen. And I assume that through discussions and agreement between the parties, they will avoid the need, if possible, to have a vote on it. It will be passed through probably on the nod, so that they can keep the number of MPs down in the House itself.
Yeah, now that's the point, isn't it? Because in the end, what Parliament does is it votes on legislation, or it votes on decisions, and that time-honoured is a physical process which literally involves MPs sort of going through a gate, a bit like sheep at dipping time. Is there a way around that? How do if you have to have a vote, and as you say, they'll try and do it on the nod, but if you have to have a vote, how can you do that remotely? Legislation, or it votes on
well, the first question is how much legislation the government thinks it needs to pass through, and therefore that would require divisions. We know the finance bill, the second reading of the finance bill, will have to be dealt with pretty quickly when Parliament comes back. But beyond that, it's unclear how much legislation the government thinks will be needed, and therefore how many votes will be required. But you could organise the votes in such a way that they could be done online. There is a system at Westminster called deferred divisions, where on certain types of business they vote on a Wednesday, vote by paper ballot system. They could do that online. Other parliaments are doing it. It's not impossible. Security is clearly a big issue, and they have to manage and mitigate the risk. But it is possible to do. But clearly, you want to minimise the number of votes where it's necessary. So it's really down to the government to give a sense of how many bills and therefore votes they think may be needed.
How much concern do you think is there that all this might end up setting a precedent, and MPs might never get back to the traditional ways of doing business?
Well, I think there is a concern, and clearly that is a worry among some members, and some members are giving an indication that they'd still like to go back to Westminster itself purely for that reason. But I think that can be mitigated. And in our proposals that we produced yesterday with the Constitution Unit at UCL, we made clear that we think that this should be very temporary arrangements. It should be very clear that these are subject to review, and that they effectively have a sunset clause on them, in the same way that the government has got emergency powers with a sunset clause. These provisions should also have a sunset clause to provide reassurance to those members, and indeed members of the public who have those worries. But clearly, if there are some positive things that emerge from these necessary changes, then members can reflect afterwards on what aspects of the procedures and the changes to business that they would like to retain. And certainly, changes to the way in which ministers are subject to questioning, whether it's online or whether it's in the House, would not be a bad thing.
Because, of course, there are a lot of people looking on who might say, well, a lot of this tradition, taking 15 minutes to vote, being two sword lengths apart, I mean, frankly, it's past its sell-by date, and it's time to modernise the whole thing anyway.
That they would like to retain. Well, that is, a criticism that many people make, and I think, what we're going to see, we're going to lose a lot of the theatrical aspects of Parliament for the foreseeable future. That's a reality of moving things online. But even if they had moved to electronic voting, as many people wanted in the House, most parliaments have electronic voting actually in the building itself, in the chamber. So even if we had had those reforms, it wouldn't have solved the particular problem that our Parliament and other parliaments face now.
Dr. Ruth Fox, nice to see you. Thank you. very much indeed. This is Sky News. Coming up next, business leaders urge the government to speed up support for struggling companies.
Voting, as many people wanted in the House. Most parliaments have electronic voting actually in the voting part in the chamber. So even if we had had those reforms, we wouldn't have solved the particular problem that this our parliament and other parliaments face now.
It's nice to see you. Thank you very much indeed. This is Sky News. Coming up next, business leaders urge the government to speed up support for struggling companies. Well, around a third of British businesses have furloughed at least three-quarters of their workforce. That's according to a new survey by the British Chambers of Commerce. And it follows yesterday's prediction from the Office of Budget Responsibility that lockdown could trigger the biggest economic slump in 300 years. Well, joining us now is Scott Korf. He's the Research Director at the Social Market Foundation. Mr. Korf, thank you for being with us. I mean, we know there's going to be a massive hit on the economy. The big question is, what do we do then when this lockdown is over? How do we start paying for it? What should we do? What do you think?
So I think the focus, as soon as the dust settles from the immediate issue, which is dealing with the virus, is to get the economy kick-started again. So that means getting businesses back to work, getting employees back in their offices and shops. But further ahead, there is going to be this question about the debt mountain that the government's going to sit on.
How do we start paying for it? What should we do? What do you think?
So I think the focus, as soon as the dust settles from the immediate issue, which is dealing with the virus, is to get the economy kick-started again. So that means getting businesses back to work, getting employees back in their offices and shops. But further ahead, there is going to be this question about the debt mountain that the government's going to sit on.
how do we start paying for it? What should we do? What do you think?
So I think the focus, as soon as the dust settles from the immediate issue, which is dealing with the virus, is to get the economy kick-started again. So that means getting businesses back to work, getting employees back in their offices and shops. But further ahead, there is going to be this question about the debt mountain that the government's going to sit on once the dust has settled from this. So if you look at the Office for Budget Responsibility focus, as soon as the dust figures yesterday, we're talking about government borrowing breaching the £200 billion. So that means getting businesses back to work, getting
10 years ago or 12 years ago. This time round, it's so much bigger. Doesn't actually economic history show us that when you're in that deeper hole, you have to go on spending and racking up the debts for a while just to get the economy going?
Yeah, I think the key word in what you just said there is for a while. And I think if you look at the last round of austerity, one of the big mistakes that George Osborne made was cutting government spending too soon, and this caused a double dip downturn in the UK economy. So we mustn't repeat that mistake this time, especially as the downturn's going to be bigger. We need to keep spending until the economy's back on good footing. But after that, we do need to revisit government spending, taxes and welfare. And I think if you look at what we're trying to say in some of the stuff that we've issued over the past day or so is that cutting government's next round of austerity needs to be fairer than the previous round of austerity. And in particular, when we relook at welfare again over the next 5-10 years, I think we do need to talk about some of the benefits going to rich pensioners, as well as working age benefits, which really bore the brunt of the last round of austerity.
That's really the point, isn't it? I mean, the last round of austerity, as you say, it hit the weaker economically in society hardest, and this time around there'll be a desire to avoid that. What's your suggestion?
I think we do need to talk about. So what we're suggesting in our report, which came out yesterday, is really looking at the distribution of welfare cuts for different age groups. The last round of austerity, we saw working age benefits capped and frozen and cut, whereas we retained things like universal pension benefits, things like the winter fuel payment. Now, of course, we still want pensioners and lower incomes to receive those kind of benefits, but I think that peaceful revisiting the issue of means testing on these benefits needs to be revisited. And with respect to the state pension, we've had a number of years now of the triple up on the state pension. That is the state pension growing by income inflation or 2.5%, whichever is greater. What we'd like to see is a move over to a double up of income and inflation, so getting rid of that 2.5% element of the triple up. This would still mean the state pension increases in line with prices and people's salaries, but you'd be getting rid of that arbitrary 2.5% rating. So it would save a bit of money for the government.
There is a suggestion of going for something more radical, a universal basic income, possibly paid for effectively by a wealth tax on people when they retire. What do you think of that?
I think discussion about universal basic income are premature at this point. What we economists usually want to do is ensure that public funds are used in the most efficient way possible. And to me, universal basic income doesn't do that. You're giving money to people that really don't need it. Whereas what we really should be doing with our tax system, our welfare system, is ensuring that welfare goes to those that really need it, those on the lowest income. I think those with particular needs that mean they really need the top up to their income.
Thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you.
This is Sky News. Lots more to come in the next hour, including the government promises to increase coronavirus testing for care home residents and staff amid fears the virus is out of control in adult social care.
Those with particular needs that mean they really need the top up.
Thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you.
This is Sky News. Lots more to come in the next hour, including the government promises to increase coronavirus testing for care home residents and staff amid fears the virus is out of control. This is Sky News. This is Sky News at 10 a.m. Our headlines. Ministers promise to ramp up coronavirus testing for care home residents and staff amid fears the virus is running wild in adult social care.
Today I'm instructing my administration to halt funding of the World Health Organization while a review is conducted.
A crime against humanity. President Donald Trump is condemned for halting US payments to the World Health Organization over its handling of the coronavirus pandemic. Struggling to stay afloat, businesses say they have to fire staff if government funds don't come through fast, as the Chancellor warns of tougher times ahead. And preserving pubs. Regulars determined to save their locals for halting US payments to the World Health Organization over its handling of the coronavirus. Good morning. Opposition parties have warned of a growing crisis in the UK's care homes, with thousands of deaths having been unreported in government official figures. Care providers have complained that they have been ignored and are calling for more testing of staff. Today the government is promising that it will test everyone who needs it, and it says all 30,000 care home providers will be contacted by the end of the week. Opposition parties have
the testing has already begun. So my latest information is that we've already tested over 1,000 care workers, and more than 2,000 have already been referred for tests. So the testing is in progress. Over the next few days, the CQC is going to be phoning up to nearly 30,000 care providers in order to identify who they need testing and start lining people up for testing. We are going to make sure that everybody has a test is there to be admitted to a care home, care workers.
Well, the government has pledged to perform 100,000 coronavirus tests a day by the end of April. Latest figures show that just under 15,000 tests were carried out on Monday, and the most recent figures show that 302,599 people in the UK have been tested for COVID-19, of which 93,873 tested positive. Well, let's speak to Sky's political correspondent, Joe Pike. Joe, well, we're seeing the testing figures there still a long way short of government goals, and now they're saying they're going to extend this on a qualified basis to care homes.
Yeah, they're saying they're going to test everyone who needs it, but by when? There are no real targets or dates in this commitment from the government. I think many in the social care sector clearly welcome the intention and the ambition, but want to see delivery as well. The priority will be for those who are leaving hospital, moving into care homes. Clearly there is a worry you could pick up the virus in hospital and bring it to a care home. That could really cause a lot of trouble, a lot of damage, but also people who are showing symptoms in care homes, either workers or residents, will also get access to test. The big problem, as you say, though, is really capacity. We are nowhere near that 100,000 a day test target that Matt Hancock has set, and therefore we're still at this very low number of social care workers who have been tested. Helen Whately there admitting it's just over 1,000. And I think with a lack of targets, with a lack of dates being set by when this can all be achieved, I think the government have not yet necessarily proved quite how they're going to help the sector, especially as we know the problem is taking place now. A lot of people say a lot of people are dying in care homes, possibly from COVID-19, and we don't yet know the true extent of it. Problems with the daily death figures, the fact that they all come from hospital, and we only get weekly figures from communities, and they have a lag in them as well. I mean, we don't perhaps know the full extent, and therefore this testing, some argue, could be too little too late.
But that's not the focus of the Labour leader, Keir Starmer, today.
No, interestingly, he's not going on one of the government's big weaknesses, perhaps you might say that. It could be testing, or PPE, or even care homes. Instead, he's looking at the exit strategy. He's written to Dominic Raab, who remains deputising for the Prime Minister, saying you should publish your exit strategy within the next week. He says this is important for transparency, but also it's important that the public understand your thinking. This is what he told us earlier.
What I'm calling on the government to do is to set set out now what the exit strategy is. So in other words, what will happen next? I'm not asking for dates. I do understand that that's unrealistic, and I said I wouldn't ask the impossible. But what we need to know is what's the strategy, what are the criteria. I think the final exit strategy can only come with a vaccine. Is to set out because it's only at that exit strategy that we can probably say we can fully exit. But we all know that a vaccine, or it is said that a vaccine won't be available for 12 months or so. So the government has to answer the question what happens in the 12 months or whatever that period is.
Well, the government,
what I'm calling on the government to do is to
the lockdown this week. So why therefore, if we're extending the lockdown, do you want to talk about an exit strategy? They want to point out we've not yet reached the peak of this outbreak. They say they're focusing on saving lives.
Joe Pike, thank you very much indeed for that. Now let's take a look at some of the people behind the statistics. More than 12,000 coronavirus patients have now died in hospital across the United Kingdom, many others in care homes. The eldest was 108, while the youngest was just 5 years old. One of those who died was Nazia Begum Sharif from Leytonstone in East London. She was buried according to her Muslim faith, and her grandson streamed the service so family members overseas and in isolation could take part. Another was the London Rabbi Neil Kraft. He was 69. His son says he meant a lot more, not only to his family, but also to the wider Jewish community. Also amongst the victims is Alice Kit Tang Ong. She was a nurse who worked for the NHS for more than 40 years. She said to have made an immeasurable difference to many people's lives throughout her Neil Kraft. He was 69. His son says he meant a lot. Well, President Donald Trump has been condemned by health experts for ordering the suspension of the American funding for the World Health Organization over what he claims is mismanagement of the coronavirus crisis. Indeed, the Irish Deputy Prime Minister Simon Coveney has just described it as an indefensible decision undermining funding and trust, well as the number of COVID-19 deaths in the United States reaches more than 26,000. President Trump has accused the WHO of covering up the seriousness of the outbreak in China, allowing it to spread around the world. Our US correspondent Greg Milam reports as an indefensible decision.
In the White House Rose Garden, in the midst of a pandemic that's killed tens of thousands, the moment Donald Trump decides is right to cut off the millions America sends to the World Health Organization. A president who accepts no blame himself, keen to point the finger.
Today I'm instructing my administration to halt funding of the World Health Organization while a review is conducted to assess the World Health Organization's role in severely mismanaging and covering up the spread of the coronavirus. Everybody knows what's going on there.
The American Medical Association called it a dangerous move at a precarious moment for the world. The UN said now wasn't the time for an inquest. The WHO had responded to the mere threat earlier this week.
The States is actually the largest contributor to WHO, and what I know is that is supportive, and I hope the funding to WHO will continue.
What Trump's more focused on, it seems, is getting America open again. But backing down from his claim he had ultimate authority to do it and admitting it is up to governors earlier this week. In places like California, where the beaches would normally be packed in this spring break holiday, but where an early stay-at-home order seems to have paid off. A place with twice the population of New York, but a fraction of the deaths. Focused on, it seems, is getting America open. The governor here is tentatively now planning the reopening.
It will not be a permanent stay. We recognize the consequences of these stay-at-home orders have a profound impact on the economy, your personal household budget, your personal prospects around your future.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Donald Trump says he'll be watching the states closely. He's called the coronavirus an invisible enemy. But once again, he's shown he's more than willing to pick a fight in its midst. Greg Milam, Sky News, Los Angeles.
These stay-at-home orders have a profound impact on the
Well, we can go now to the virtual meeting of the Home Affairs Select Committee, which has just started taking evidence on what support is available for those at risk of domestic abuse during the coronavirus outbreak. Giving evidence are the Children's Commissioner and the Domestic Abuse Commissioner. The chair of the committee is the Labour MP, Yvette Cooper.
Time and that they know
we can go now to the
do you have an
meeting of the Home Affairs Select
Sorry to interrupt you. Do you have an assessment of what is happening at the moment? We've heard, obviously, reports of calls to helplines going up, but we've also heard from some police forces who said they haven't had an increase in calls to the police. What's your assessment of what's happening?
So in that Monday call, obviously it's not the only call, but it gives us a sense of the week. As the weeks have progressed, we're now in our fourth week of having this regular summary. You're right, and you've seen it reported in the media fairly accurately, a steady increase in the help seeking through helplines, but also virtual, web chat, looking at web pages, all of the helplines, and I'm sure you'll hear from the next panel much more specifically about that. Quite huge increases on some days, so it's not steady every day. It's about 25 to 29% increases in general, but on some days much higher, 120% looking at increases in calls, sometimes higher than that. So what we're hearing from the helplines is complexity, so people calling with more complex needs. We're hearing an increase in volume in general, but also real concerns about what options are available. Similarly, what we hear from the police, the police this week have started talking about having more increase in non-crime domestic calls. So in other words, an increase in call-out, but not necessarily resulting in a report or a crime. So in some ways, it's early days, but I think at least that means people are calling. That wasn't as much the case a couple of weeks ago, so we're seeing a slight change in pattern there. But we don't. But you're right to know that the police are not seeing a huge spike, but all of the police, from our national police lead, Louisa Ross, Preston Dick, they're all concerned about that because they would agree and understand that domestic abuse will be on the increase during this time.
And just so I'm clear, in terms of the top of your list of things that need to be done, the top of your list was information for people who might be suffering.
Yeah, I have a few things. I would say, one thing to make clear and not to grandstand about this, this is a sector that was suffering from a postcode lottery pre-pandemic. So this is not a group of services that are equal across the country or funded in a robust way. So yes, we need the public awareness. We need people who are subject to domestic abuse to really understand that we're out here and we're planning for them and that they can access support. So that is first and foremost. But sitting beside that as an equal importance is just to appreciate that the main services that we depend on are often vulnerable. They will certainly be losing funding during this time. They won't have an ability to fee earn. The people who do runs and all sorts of things to fundraise for them will not be able to do that. And so the charities themselves need support. So over the weekend, you'll have seen a £2 million announcement to support our helplines, which is absolutely needed. There are increased costs that helplines will be incurring from diverting their calls, upping their technology and all sorts of things they're doing to keep running. But the greater concern that I have right now
now is how will we use the money announced by the Chancellor to best effect for this crisis. Unlike some other issues, we know that domestic abuse and violence against women and girls are particularly important during this time. So we need to see, and in this week, I appreciate it was just announced on Wednesday, but we need to see a clear view of how charities will quickly access these funds. And important to me is not using our traditional channels or existing channels, meaning not to be overly dependent on channeling funds through the local authority or the PCSD, because this is how we had our postcode lottery in the first place. So there are many small charities, there are many specific charities that serve disabled women or BME populations or specific groups that won't necessarily be able to access existing channels for support. And so we need to allow those charities to be able to quickly and very simply bid in and get the funds they need to sustain what they're doing, but also to plan for the inevitable surge that we will have. There will be people who are waiting and trying to survive every day, and then will access support as quickly as they can when some of the lockdown is lifted. So those are really key priorities right now.
Thank you. Anne
Very
Longfield.
simply bid in and get the funds they
The
need to
huge change in
sustain
children's
what they're
lives, of
doing, but
course, is
also
that
to
schools
plan for the inevitable surge that we will
have been closed for most
there will
children,
be
apart
people who are
for
waiting
children of key workers, but
and
also
trying to
vulnerable
survive
children. That's been
every
a
day,
huge change
and
over
then
the
will
last
access
few
support as
weeks.
quickly
And
as
with
they
that
can
becomes a real
when some
risk
of the
that a lot of
lockdown is
children who
lifted.
would be
So
picked
those are
up and
really
noticed
key
by schools when
priorities
things are
right
going
now.
Thank
wrong
you. Anne Longfield.
become invisible. Now, I've been really
reassured,
pleased, relieved that schools have continued to offer places for vulnerable children, those with social workers. There's many who are vulnerable who don't have those places. But the numbers of children who are coming into school in that category, anecdotal reports are that they are lower than was expected. And at the same time, you've got families who are without the support that they might otherwise have. Children's centres are largely closed, support around the school, parenting and the like. So the range of services that would have been there in normal times to support families are largely not there in the same way. And also the place where professionals are able to pick up a notice, and half the referrals to social services come from schools, and no longer operating in the same way. Now, in terms of how local authorities and others have responded to that, I think there's been a great response locally in most areas. People are doing are motivated, they're really changing and reconfiguring their services virtually overnight, and many doing great things and reaching out to families in need. But the risks are bigger than that, and I would also say the solution is bigger than, a fantastic set of staff teams, even a fantastic local authority. We know that there are babies and under 5s at particular risk, and also teenagers at risk in a different way as they start to struggle with lockdown and what that means and the vulnerability that they would see. In terms of domestic abuse, we know half of the referrals to social services involve domestic abuse. We know that 2/3 of the women in hostels will have children with them. And we know that children suffer as victims of domestic abuse alongside adults in their household too. We also know there's around 800,000 children who have experienced domestic abuse in the last year. So these are significant numbers.
Thank you. Simon Fell.
We know that 2/3 of the women in
just following up on that,
will
what
have
do you think we should be
them.
doing to mitigate the
And
risks
we know that
during
children
this
suffer
pandemic?
as victims of domestic
And
abuse
Longfield, start with you.
alongside adults in their household too. We also know there is a lot of activity, as you can imagine. I think there is a huge task to persuade the vulnerable children who have a place into school, Also a need for that definition of who is vulnerable to be relatively flexibly looked at locally. So it's not just those with a social worker, because we know that there'll be as many, if not more, who don't have a social worker. We know the police chiefs are very worried about that group. So getting those vulnerable children into school will mean there's the line of sight, there's a structure in their life, there's safety there. But that's, you know, that's not a task without challenge, because families don't like the idea of stigma, and also, of course, are worried about the infection itself. So that is a task in itself. Identifying who those vulnerable children are and where they are is a huge, huge effort even before COVID-19, but it's very, very important during COVID-19. And the DFO working on a dashboard, a national and local dashboard. We've been developing one and helping them with that too. And then really a systematic and far-reaching response to mean that once you've identified those kids, actually you are reaching out to those families, making contact, keeping in contact, visiting when needs be, but certainly distance contact. The whole of the kind of child protection system, which relies so heavily on judgment and visits, has had to be remade in about a month. And that means most of it is now done through the screen, which in itself, as you can imagine, brings its own challenges. So really, I think seeing that robust ambition to visit, to be able to keep in touch and really know those families and be alongside them during this crisis.
Thank you. Nicole Jacobs?
Say, you know, I've talked about the funding. I've talked about how we allow for people who are our eyes and ears and who are in a position to help to really be communicated to directly, neighbors, employers. What are the things you can do to help in this situation during this time in particular, and allowing them to be supported to do that. There are a lot of obstacles and challenges for people in domestic abuse to access help. So if you're a migrant woman, for example, and have no recourse to public funds, we need to alleviate some of these obstacles to support and routes to support. So legal aid is another. We need to allow for legal aid right now to be accessible to all victims of domestic abuse. Priority need for housing. There's a lot of things that we could do that are kind of in the way of getting support for people who are in a crisis. A great example would be our get out orders, called the domestic violence protection orders, that the police would like to use, but sometimes will have challenges to use them because they don't have an appropriate address for the perpetrator to go. They may have difficulty getting into court because of court closures. I know some of those things are being prioritized. All of that can get unlocked a lot more quickly if we had a cross-governmental working group. So Vera Baird, who I know is hopefully joining us soon, and Anne Longford and I, we all sit on various groups throughout the week in various government departments. But until now, we have not had a cross-governmental working group. Probably the best thing we have is the Monday call, where I have people from our specialist sector and all government departments. But in order to unlock all of those things I've listed off as progress, we can do it, but we would do it a lot more quickly if we had a cross-governmental working group and plan that could report into government on progress in quick time.
Just thinking, there's quite rightly a focus on victims, but I wonder about the perpetrators too. You know, what should we be doing to help them and therefore protect the people in their households?
Simon, just to interrupt for a second before I bring a witness back in, can I also welcome Dame Vera Baird, who has joined us, who's the Victims Commissioner as well. And Vera, once the other witnesses have answered Simon's question, I'll just come back to you for just some opening thoughts as well. But sorry, back to you, Simon.
Thank you. Nicole, why don't you pick up?
You mentioned that there are there are a lot of efforts in terms of focusing on the behavior of perpetrators that need to continue. So one of the critical ones is our national helpline. So we have an organization called Respect, who are funded and run a national helpline for people who are worried about their own behavior. And that helpline has promoted really targeted materials and guidance during COVID, which we should all be promoting and making sure people know about, because it is one hope for people who are getting frustrated at home, who are reachable, who may need support and guidance specifically for that. But with perpetrators of domestic abuse, I suppose it is a range. It will always be a range. And so we also need to strengthen the ability for the police to enforce orders, to hold perpetrators to account, things like those get out orders, the DVPOs. Some police areas are really actively planning and trying to locate housing so that when they need those orders, they have that ready and that isn't an obstacle. So there's a whole range of things that we need to do. Another thing I would highlight for you that I've heard police colleagues talk about is the need to extend the time by which people could report crimes. So there will be people who are experiencing abuse right now who aren't able to call the police, who it wouldn't be safe for them, but they may well want to report a crime later. And so we need to allow for some extension to what the normal timescales would be for that kind of thing.
Thank you. Anne Longfield?
Nicole's just said. I think, in addition, very clear messaging that domestic abuse or indeed child abuse is a crime, and that it's something which will be absolutely treated with utmost seriousness. The police, to have them continue to make this a priority in both their messaging but also their actions is really important. And I think also, going back to that other point, having people in touch with the house, having people in touch with the family is that clear way to get those early warning signs. And that has to be as real as possible during this time of lockdown.
Thank you. Can I just welcome Vera Baird to the evidence session. Really pleased to see you, and the technology is now sorted. Vera, can I ask you your assessment of what is happening at the moment in terms of the level of abuse taking place, or in terms of what is happening with services? And secondly, the top of your list in terms of what you think needs to be done now to support victims.
Yes, I think to save lives in this pandemic, we are ordering some people to stay locked up for a long time with people who will damage them, and they know that. And that has been staring the government in the face. Let me say straight away, the announcement of funding for charities, though we don't know how much will come to help victims of domestic abuse and sexual abuse, is welcome. Welcome, but I think it has been quite late in the day. I would guess that during my absence struggling with my iPad, you've heard from my colleagues about the evidence abroad, almost every country where this pandemic has happened. And indeed, there was a great article in The Guardian about it on the 28th of March, saying where lockdown has caused an increase in domestic abuse and an increase in sexual abuse, particularly of children and of online. And of course, we have police campaigns every Christmas to counter domestic abuse, which we know will increase by just those few days, compelling people to be together for a long time. And so it was imperative really from the start that since this was part and parcel of telling people to lock down, that there should have been a strategy of prevent, protect, pursue, and so on, which is what one usually does when there's an anticipated level of crime to increase. Currently, I have a call, clearly Nicole and I work quite closely together, but I have a call every Monday at 11 a.m. with the victims service suppliers who are funded by the PCC. So I have a selection of those, and they phone other people and tell me what's happening in their region as well as in their own area. And there is definitely, as you've seen from the refuge statistics, an increase generally in domestic abuse calls. There is a far bigger increase in online contact. And I know that Refuge's webpage had something like a 700% increase in visits recently, which suggests that people are looking at somewhere where there might be help. And this could possibly be the victim themselves, or it could equally possibly be a neighbour. We now know that about 40% of notifications to the police about domestic abuse come through neighbours. But there's a bit of variety. In the southwest, the call to Avon and Somerset showed a decline in reports of domestic abuse. In the northeast, there
never
was a
been
spike
easy
over
until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Listen to Aunties Mary, Lottie and Regina on the Family Enrichment Programme on Starr Radio UK. This and every Saturday from 6 to 8 p.m.
Some people are wicked because don't make it your business going about revealing
people's secrets. Don't be a busybody.
And some people. Today's typical family is under pressure from various directions. Divorce is on the increase. More and more of the Afro-Caribbean youth are taking to crime, etc. The Family Enrichment Programme brings together a team of qualified experts to discuss and shed light on how we can make our families better and stronger. It is said the family can do without the society, but the society can't. Listen to the Family Enrichment Programme this and every Saturday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Starr Radio UK, your favourite Afro-Caribbean radio station in London.
Download our app in iTunes and the Google Play Store.
Listen to Regina Abban and Lady Caroline every Monday from 5 to 6:30 p.m. on Point at Starr Radio UK, where we educate the youth and young adults on life issues.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired. Yes! How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Of darkness.
So what did that?
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Body is your man. Bekutu, show them you got the cocoa set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harry Song, aka Mr. Songs. This is the Kingmaker Baba for the girls. We're here. This is Starr Radio. Don't go nowhere. UK, London. We they call them London for home. For here, we they call them London. And that's how you know. Just have fun and stay blessed.
The best radio show. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
In your car,
At work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile. If you just smile. Hey, this is Archie, and you are listening to Starr Radio UK. Morning and welcome to Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Today's Wednesday, the 15th day of April, the year 2020. In a time of lockdown, but we are still here to bring you nothing but the best in news, views, and what have you. So tell your friend to tell your friend to tell your friend to tell your friend that Starr Radio UK, the morning show is on. Of course, I'm Archie. But let me bring you my normal salutations, as those who normally follow me know what I say. It is a greeting that encompasses everybody, so I will not have broken any protocols from there. So let me start it. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. Of course, those of you on other planets as well, I salute you all and I say hello. Is anyone home?
welcome you all to the program. Especially Mr. Steve Wambugu. Mr. Steve Wambugu all the way from Kenya. Thank you very much for following us and joining us today. Massive good morning to you. To those of you celebrating your birthdays today, KB Bossman, Mrs. Veronica Depa, and all you wonderful people celebrating your birthdays today, happy birthday to you. You want me to give a shout out to you or to your friends or to your family, whoever is celebrating your birthday due to the COVID and the lockdown, you're not able to go around there to give them a bouquet of flowers or maybe a nice card or anything of the sort. Just get in touch with us. Our text or WhatsApp number is 07539661744. 07539661744. And I promise you, I will get in touch with whoever. You just have to feed me with the person's number, and for sure, I will get in touch with him or her. Because of the lockdown, our makeup artists are not in. So you see me sweating, don't you worry. I have to do my makeup myself. And what do I know to do when it comes to makeup? Well, I'm Archie here. I'm not here by myself. I'm here with Mr. Frank Davis, my colleague and co-presenter. He will be seated and they'll bring your his greetings as well. Well, let me say good morning to Mr. Olayomi all the way in Edmonton, London. And in Cape Town, South Africa, Mr. Ebenezer Hammond, who is also lined up this morning. He says, I have something to tell you guys. I said, bring it on. So he'll be joining us during the course of the program as well. So that is the team for this morning. But wherever you are, welcome to the program. Let me say morning to my brother Felix all the way at I'm going to say Edmonton. He's in Aberdeen. Felix, people thought that maybe you've broken the lockdown and traveled all the way to Edmonton. My goodness. No, I know my brother is law abiding. He wouldn't do that. But wherever you are staying at home. Just stay at home unless you are an essential worker. So just stay at home and continue to listen to us on Starr Radio UK. Felix, morning to you. Captain Felix Tetter, morning. And Michael Siama and the family, good morning to you. I hope you are doing very well. Thank you very much for all the support you've been giving on to us. And to the man of God, Pastor Emmanuel Chidi, I hope that you had a very good day yesterday, celebrating your birthday. Good morning also goes to my brother Kwame, Mr. Kofi Ali, Ambassador Lat for ECOWAS, missing in action, and Mr. Choflas Taiko, aka TT, Mr. Mali Dramani Mahama, wherever you are, massive good morning to you. To the Apostle himself, Brother HB, Apostle Hendrik Bruce, and Mama Mary, Ma'am, good morning to you. All of Bible Life Family Ministries, we salute you. Hey, to our money man all the way in Kent, Mr. Dantebury and the family, yeah, and the girls there. Massive good morning to you all. I failed to mention the name of this princess of mine. I bet she's going to be telling me she needs to be on the monitor like right now. So, Princess of our Princess, I hope you are doing very, very well. Good morning to you and your mom, Praise and Samuel. Good morning to you. I hope you're all locked down. Okay. All protocol observed. Welcome to the program. Now you do me a massive favor. You know what you can do for me? Share the page with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages. Those of you on Facebook, share the pages with them. Those of you on YouTube, subscribe to our page. Those of you on Twitter, Periscope, and all the other social media platforms, just share the links with them. But the best way to listen to us is via our apps. To see all the presenters there, their profiles and everything there, and then you can go on further, go to our TV section. You can watch what we are doing live on the program. It is for free. You can also send us a message via that app as well. So, what more can a man ask for? So So, by way of program, I'll bring you the quote for the day, the weather forecast, then the travel update will follow suit. And then we'll bring you some lovely music. At 11 o'clock, we have Mr. Olayomi Koiki joining in to bring us updates from Nigeria, from his base here in Edmonton. He's not traveling all the way to Nigeria, please. He's observing the lockdown. And then after that, we'll have Mr. Ebenezer Hammond, also from Cape Town, bringing us some updates from there. But like I've said in the past few weeks, if you're listening to us from whatever corner of the earth that you find yourself, maybe how we are experiencing the lockdown here in the UK is not the same way you're experiencing there. No, maybe. That is reality. Now, you want to share with us what is going on. Maybe in your vicinity, you are facing some challenges and you think that you want to bring it to the public domain. Feel free. Get in touch with us. Our text or WhatsApp number is 0753966174. 0753966174. Or you can email us. Just drop a line there. It is info@starradiouk.com. info@starradiouk.com. Or even on our Facebook page, you can just drop a line there. Inbox us and we will get back to you. The quote for the day says, keep yourself till your season shows up because premature exposure can be deadly at times. How true is that? Keep yourself till your season shows up because premature exposure can be deadly at times. And I'm saying good morning to Isabella Matekole. Thank you very much for joining us. Bella, regards to the big man himself, Mr. Kwabena Opoku and the family there. Regards to them all the way in Ghana. I salute you, madam, sir. She's a police officer, so I need to salute. And you see, I saluted her and I say, sir, hey. I mean, I can't even pass the recruiting period, though. Yes, good morning to you. Good morning to you and welcome to the program. Okay, now let's move on to the weather front. Yesterday, it was quite chilly. I looked at the weather forecast for this morning and I thought, whoa, it's going to be a bit milder than it's been yesterday. So how is it going to be all in all? Let me tell you how it's going to be in Greater London area. This afternoon will be dry and sunny with only light winds. It will become a little warmer compared to the last couple of days. After a fine evening, tonight looks set to remain dry with mainly clear skies and gentle winds. This will allow it to become cool, locally turning rather cold. The top temperature is going to be 18 degrees, the lower is going to be 6 degrees. Pollen level is going to be high, UV level is going to be moderate, pollution is going to be low. Sunset is going to be 19:58 and sunrise for tomorrow morning 06:04 hours. That's the end of the weather forecast for you today. Wednesday, the 15th day of April, the year 2020. Now let's move on to the travels for only the essential workers. Please, so if you are not, stay at home. Tashia, Tinefie. I don't know how to say it in French, you know. By the time I finish French, Frank would have gotten it. I'm going to say bien ici. How do we even say home in French? See, my French teacher died when I was in P1 or P2. Well, that's by way of a joke. Now let's move on to the travel updates. Now on the Bakerloo line, the Special Service Central Special Service Circle closed. The service is closed there. And this line has got Special Service DLR, Special Service Hammersmith and City, Special Service Jubilee Line, Special Service London Overground, Special Service Metropolitan, Special Service Northern, Special Service Piccadilly, Special Service TFL Rail, Special Service London Tramlink, Special Service Victoria, Special Service Waterloo and City Lines closed. Now moving on to the Riverbank this morning. RB1, RB2, RB4, RB5 are all suspended. Now Woolwich has got reduced service and RB6 has got good service there. Now, if you are stuck in any of the areas that I've mentioned, continue to listen to us on Starr Radio UK, because as and when there are any changes, we'll bring it to your phone. Now, moving on to the National Rail this morning. East Midlands has got special service, and And then Southeastern Railways has also got special service there. On the other side, all the others are in good service. It's Starr Radio UK, the travel update that comes to you every weekday from 10:45. And let me say good morning to Kweku Obodia Tio Berima Ajimai. I hope you are doing very, very well. Good. Okay, now moving on to the major roads in London. A10 has got closures, A13 closures, A4 closures, A40 closures, A41 closures. Central London Red Roads has also got closures. And so, like I say, or I do all the time, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, and good dawn. Enjoy your comments for today, but you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the road. It's now 10:50 from the House of London, Starr Radio UK, the station, the morning show, the program. I'm Archie, but like I said earlier on, I'm not here by myself. I'm joined by my colleague and co-presenter, Mr. Frank Davis, in the house, suited and booted to bring you what is happening, to dissect, bisect, and make sure that you understand what is going on when it comes to the news and current issues going around the globe. I mean, well, I don't want to say anything yet, but Frank, good morning to you.
Good morning. And you wanted to know how we say sit down in French.
I said what?
No.
Sit down.
Actually, no. Ce n'est pas no.
Okay.
Anyway, let me start with Yoruba.
Okay.
Jokosi Olayomi will come and correct me. But the French one say asa à la maison.
Okay, home.
My sister is here with me.
Hey.
So now that I've not been able to get the pronunciation correct, I think my sister will help me.
Oh, okay. Assoir à la maison.
Okay, so that sister, if you thank you.
Assoir à la maison. Okay. So stay at home.
Stay at home. Actually, good morning to our listeners, wherever they might be. Our viewers, we say good morning to you. Today, another special day, 15th of April 2020. Archie,
yeah.
This year, COVID has taken over the year.
It's taking over.
By the time we say Jack,
the year will be over and we'll be locked down. Yeah.
By the time we say Jack, I woke up this morning, checked my diary, checked my calendar. I just cross all the plans you made. You cross them. Time has eaten them.
Yeah.
But you know, wherever you are, that's not the end of the world. The tables are being prepared for a new beginning. That's all we can hope for. The most important thing is we are alive.
Yeah.
You came over here yesterday. We woke up with people, and by the close of the day, over 773 of them were no more with us.
Yeah.
And that is only the reported cases in the hospitals. Talk less of those who are not covered in those statistics. So we say we thank the Almighty for bringing us here safe, and we're here to do what we know what to do best.
Yeah.
Talk.
Yeah. And as I said, once there is life, there is hope.
Oh,
you know, you have life. There. I mean, if today you woke up and when you open your eyes, you find yourself in somewhere.
Yeah.
Hey, then you know that your mission and this thing here on earth is all finished.
Yeah.
But hey, you are still alive, so you still have something to accomplish on this earth.
Let me say good morning to Honorable Tabitakum.
Tabitakum.
Yeah, Tabitakum. I love that name. I love that name. That's a powerful name.
Tabitakumi. Tabitakum.
Tabitakum.
Okay.
Yeah. Please, where are you watching us from? I would love to know that, and probably to link up with you. I like the combination of that name. It's two powerful names. Honorable and then Tabitakum. I like that one.
Wow.
Yeah, very powerful.
Yeah. How have you been?
Actually, I've been good, solid, and this morning I took a bit of my Corona soup, and I'm here.
This man, he has got some soup. I said, they put the video of the soup. I said,
the most important thing is that when you see someone's beard on fire, you try to prepare. So what I've done is to be able to get a bit of lime and lemon, slice it, a lot of garlic, a lot of ginger, and then a lot of pineapple. You know, the back of pineapple, and include pineapple.
Yeah.
Boil it every morning. I take I take it. Every evening I take it.
Mhm.
And actually, if you research about the what they call the benefits of even a pineapple,
Yeah.
when you boil the pineapple.
Yeah.
I mean, people should go and
Read about it. Read about it. Yeah.
And one thing is that these are not chemicals. They will not harm you.
Mhm.
That is one thing.
Mhm.
They will not harm you. So that is what I do every morning. I do my humanly possible. Should Corona come,
at least you know that you are safe.
I've done my humanly possible. Yeah.
Here's what he has to do. What about you? You know, you can do me a massive favor. Share the page with your friends and loved ones. And all these wonderful people, even your enemies, share it with them. After all, the good book says what? It said, if your enemy is hungry, give them food to eat.
Actually, the word in an enemy, I don't think we should even have people having enemies. At this time.
Okay.
Yeah, COVID has come and it does not discriminate. Nothing to do with political powers. Nothing to do even those with nuclear buttons in their hands.
Mhm.
Nothing to do with the rich or the poor. It's actually very indiscriminately.
Yes.
I mean, how will you feel if by tomorrow you said the person you hated so much has been COVID?
Yeah. And died out of it.
It has been COVID. Actually,
Yeah.
I see COVID as a leveler. And I see as a starting point for all of us. I mean, people might have wronged you, but for Christ's sake, let's look in the face of Allah and say, look, but for COVID, I wouldn't have forgiven you.
But
now
now
that COVID has surfaced.
Go to your phone book. You see that there are lots of numbers. Check on them. Those that you block, unblock them.
Unblock them and at least call them. If you can unblock them and call them, at least call it one a day.
There are some that you really never want to unblock. But for COVID, that's what we said here. Yeah. Well.
And you know what? Actually, there's one thing that medically is also proven. Spiritually is proven. Medically is proven. When you harbor anger towards people, it affects you.
Your immune system. Yeah, it affects your immune system big time.
Even medically, this is not the time to be getting angry with people. But at the end of the day, you taking, the energy that your body needs to get it ready to fight off any intrusion from any virus. The moment you continue together, you weakening your system. So medically, it's proven that this is not the time to have enemies.
Don't stress out. No enemies.
No.
Yes. Just chill. Listen to Starr Radio UK. Share with your friends and loved ones.
Right.
Okay then. Wow. Okay. Now let me bring you my first carefully selected choice of song. Let's put on our dancing shoes and let's join Joe Metal and the Better Revival Choir. Just for free. Yeah. Okay. And let's dance and we'll be with you. Stay tuned. Don't touch the dial. Starr Radio UK.
Machonyegbe Archie Machonyeji Akafu Machonyenuse Awado Nambawu Esiayi Machonyegbe Archie Machonyeji Akafu Machonyenuse Awado Nambawu Esiayi for my way, they wanna make my chonye nu say I want for my way, oh my chonye nu say I want for my way, oh, my chonye say I want hey. You can give the Lord a dance in this place. Come on. I live Come on, clap your hands with it. Come on. I tried it. Somebody give the Lord a dance in this place. I can't see you dance in this place. Everybody. Della Yesu Domenye. Mazwazolima wakodeji. Della Yesu Domenye. Mazwazolima wakodeji.
Okay, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Vovo, man. So wherever you are, I hope that you're enjoying the tune. If you're celebrating your birthdays, one dedicated to you, dance to it. Give thanks to the Almighty God who has granted us grace once again. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, but for your information, Starr Radio UK is once again bringing you something new, something good. That is Sandwave.
1, 2, 3, we go!
If you download the penguin, that yellow penguin, and you want to transfer some money to Nigeria, Ghana, Tanzania, well, a few of the countries, get in touch with us. You don't pay nothing for the transaction. You rather get a reward. And what reward that is? £5. You have to put the code STARR, STARR, and you can get the money. So tell a friend, once again, sharing good stuff with you. But it's now 4 minutes past the top of the hour. And it is the Wednesday edition of the morning show. I already have in line Mr. Olayomi Koiki, is all lined up, geared up to bring you what is happening in Nigeria. But like I told you earlier on,
I can't see you dance in this place. Everybody.
Okay, my apologies for that. But like I said earlier, Mr. Olayomi Koiki is all lined up to come your way with updates from Nigeria. Continue to share the link and the page with your friends and loved ones. As I've said, the best way to listen to us is via our own dedicated app. Just go to your app store, whether it's iOS or Android, just download it. It is for free. Just type in STARR Radio UK. It will just pop up. Boop. Download it. It's for free. But if you're watching us live on Facebook, share the page with your friends and loved ones. On YouTube, share the link with your friends and loved ones and subscribe to our channel as well. And then you can also share the other lanes. Periscope, Twitter, and all the others. How we have Mr. Olayomi Koiki here now? Okay, listener, just bear with me. Let me see whether I can hear me. So, Yomi, now, good morning once again. Okay, listeners, just bear with us. Yomi, let's play a bit of the music and then we come back to you. I think there's an interference from one of the callers coming from outside. Yeah, but just bear with us and we'll be with you. Just stay tuned. Don't touch the dial. Okay, let me see whether Olayomi can hear me now. Yomi. Okay, apologies. We're trying to sort it out, but once that is being sorted out by the technical team, let's see whether we can still continue with our conversation with Mr. Olayomi Koiki. How have you been?
Well, very good. When you wake up every day and you realize that instead of so many people struggling on ventilators in the hospital around the world, God's also doing everything to save so many people.
Wow. Listeners, bear with us. The sound is quite worrying, but like I said earlier on, the technical team is working on it. So just bear with us. While they try to sort it out. I hope the family is doing well. Okay, can you come again, please? Okay. Listen, it's a bit challenging there. I don't know whether you guys are hearing us very well, but we'll take a break and we'll come to you. Please, just hold on.
Hi guys, this is your friend from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that you can download onto your smartphone and send money to Ghana and Nigeria. SendWave is absolutely commission free. No matter how many times you send money or whatever the amount may be, you will never have to pay any commission ever. Your money is transferred in 30 seconds, and right now SendWave is offering the best exchange rates in the market. Don't believe me? Look for yourself. Join me on the morning show on Starr Radio every Tuesday at 12:45 p.m. In the meantime, download the SendWave app from the App Store or Google Play Store. Remember to use the promo code STARR to get £5 free credit. That's STARR. Bye for now.
Hello, good people. I'm back again, and this time it's about Mama's Choice Fufu Mix. It comes in 2 flavors, and it contains essential minerals and vitamins. It's gluten-free. You can grab one from the nearest Afro-Caribbean shop or the corner shop next to you. Insist it's Mama's Choice. It's certified by both the US and the UK Food Standard Boards. Grab one for yourself today. Mama's Choice. Charlie. Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Welcome back to the program Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. The time now is up 12 minutes past the top of the hour. Once again, I wish to apologize sincerely for the sound that is going on there. A bit of interference there, but our technical team is working on it assiduously. So just bear with us for a minute. But let me see whether I can hear Mr. Olayomi a bit better as they're still working on it. Yomi. Okay. So what's happening in Nigeria today? Hello, Yomi. Okay. Hello, Yomi. All right. Whilst we try to. Okay, my apologies. The line dropped. So he's back on now. Let me see whether I can get him. Hello, Yomi. Okay, his line is dropped again. We're trying to reconnect to Mr. Olayomi Koiki. So yes, let's see whether we can get through to him. Mr. Olayomi Koiki. Yes, I can. So I was asking the question, what updates do you have for us today? Okay, Yomi. Yes, hold on. We're going to be calling you on the other line, so just hold on. Put your hang up, and then we'll call you on the other line, and then we'll continue with the conversation because I think your line is still not clear enough. So just bear with us. Just hang up. Listeners, it is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. With the time now exactly a quarter past 11 here in the UK. We have Mr. Olayomi Koiki, who is bringing us updates from Nigeria. But just bear with us whilst we try to connect him on the other line, since this line seems to be playing up. I don't know whether it's being coveted or not. So stay tuned. Don't turn it down.
Hi guys, this is your friend from Sendwave. Sendwave is a money transfer app that you can download onto your smartphone and send money to Ghana and Nigeria. Sendwave is absolutely commission free. No matter how many times you send money or whatever the amount may be, you will never have to pay any commission ever. Your money is transferred in 30 seconds, and right now Sendwave is offering the best exchange rates in the market. Don't believe me? Look for yourself. Join me on the morning show on Starr Radio every Tuesday at 12:45 p.m. In the meantime, download the Sendwave app from the App Store or Google Play Store. Remember to use the promo code STARR to get £5 free credit. That's STARR. Bye for now.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK. Let me see whether I can hear Mr. Olayomi loud and clear. Yummy.
Yes, I can hear you. A very good morning once again in the studio.
Okay. Listeners, our apologies for not being able to bring the visual side of it. The technical team is working on it. Once we are done, we'll bring him back on it. So, virtually, we have to start the whole thing because I didn't hear the first bit that you were saying. So, what are some of the updates from Nigeria this morning, sir?
Yes, I was given that we had to update from the Nigerian Center for Disease Control that gives us, the daily, confirmed numbers of Nigerians that have been affected with the COVID-19. One was released just before 9 p.m. and another one was released at just about 11 p.m., taking the total number now to 373 in total. 99 people have been discharged. 11 people have also, lost their lives in the COVID-19 as well. Lagos has got 214 and FCT 58. Osun State have got 20. Also, I will be giving a little bit more from the other headlines around the country. And likewise, what one of the frontliners that works in United Kingdom in Nigeria, who I've just listened to her. I think the broadcast she did was on the Easter day. But what she was trying to, maybe I should start with what she was explaining to us, that it seems, something not very right because there is more, people from the black community that have been caught up in this coronavirus crisis. And what she said is, as much as you might not be able to go with your loved ones should the case arise, when, they might have to attend the hospital for either symptoms or being admitted, you must continue to be on the phone with the hospital so that they can be getting the right treatment. She also mentioned that, yes, within the community, with the African community, we do have a lot of people that have diabetes and people that have high blood pressure, and maybe that could be one of the reasons that people are being taken to the hospital, and in about 4 to 3 hours, they died as well. She also mentioned that there's not much reportage. We'll see if we can bring her in one of these days, on the show to speak to us. But she also mentioned that it seems also the total number of frontline workers that died in their house is not also being recorded properly, and all that, to boil it down, is we must also do whatever we can to build our body immune system, and that is something that I was listening to with a frontline NHS worker from the Nigerian community this morning. Also yesterday, I did also saw another Nigerian, but this one lives in Nigeria. One of the the chairman of one of the airline in Nigeria, but passed away here in United Kingdom, with the COVID-19 symptoms. And now let's go into some of the other headlines that we do have, and then we can review all that as well. Yesterday, the president received donation from the EU of about 50 million euro. Coronavirus reform also, distribution of palliative to forestall crisis. Governor tells the president. President Buhari reportedly urged Mr. Fayemi to formalize all the requests of the governors and forward them to him, promising that there would be a prompt address. And also confirmed that the Lagos State, that has also been discharging so much, even though they have huge number of people that have, cases of coronavirus as well, is also putting in measures in terms of, making, because most people have been complaining about the palliatives not being distributed properly. But the Lagos State governor yesterday says that there will be much more. He said this. It goes this way: we have begun the distribution of relief items to about 250,000 vulnerable residents, and in addition to this, 100,000 youths will be provided 1 meal per day across all the LCDA via our food kitchen. We are also started a conditional cash transfer to 250,000 people as part of the relief package, while repayment on the state facility loans to SME and the medium SME as well through the Lagos State Education Trust Fund. We have a moratorium of 3 months to help ease the effect of the lockdown. Also, he did ask for those that their vehicle has been impounded by LASMA and VIO. We release all impounded vehicles for minor offences from March 1st. All this will be done to reduce the impact of the lockdown on the residents as well. Let's go back to some of the updates as well from the dailies that we have coming out of Nigeria today. NCDC chief names Nigerians' major challenges in battling coronavirus. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control, gave challenges that we have in terms of battling, the coronavirus. Efficiency collection of samples and proper case identification by the public health workforce are Nigerians' major challenges in his fight against COVID-19, according to the director of the Nigerian Center for Disease and Control. While he was speaking, during the presidential task force briefing yesterday, says laboratory testing capacity is no longer a challenge as government has put in place some of those necessary resources. But the challenge right now is not the laboratory testing capacity. It is how active our public health workforce is identifying suspect cases, collecting samples, and sending them to the lab. If we all know that, what the World Health advises, the more testing that can be done, the better as well, and then you can be able to trace people that have got, the virus or been infected either by somebody that is a carrier as well. Let's also quickly look at some of the other headlines as well. Also, we saw the PDP also released a press statement yesterday, accusing the government of not putting in enough in terms of, palliative to support, the citizens across, the country as well. And it says this was released at about 3,400 hours yesterday. Accept failure, provide palliatives. PDP replies Buhari presidency. The People's Democratic Party has berated the Buhari presidency for throwing tantrums at Nigerians for complaining about President Buhari's failure to provide palliative to cushion the effect of the COVID-19 pandemic in our country. The party said rather than listening to Nigerians, shared its corruption and take urgent steps to address the issue of panic being raised by poor masses whose means of livelihood have been crippled by the restriction order the Buhari presidency chose to spur votation against PDP just to divert the public attention from its failure. I'll take one more and then come back to you in the studio as well. Also, Nigeria must learn from coronavirus impact. I'm sure not just Nigeria alone, every part of the world will have to relearn and see what measures needs to be put in place for foreseeable future in case something like this does happen again. Nigeria must not allow the bitter lesson of coronavirus pandemic to go into waste, according to the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele. Rather, he said, Nigerians should learn from other countries around the world that adopt drastic measures to protect their people and economy and looking inward. Also, I saw the Chancellor here in UK yesterday saying we might be going into a kind of 35% shrink, according to the forecast. And Nigeria, looking at the crude oil that we depend so much, the crude oil has gone down in the market, and that is also going to have impact on us. Just to quickly take one from there as well, Mr. Emefiele, who is the central bank governor, who noted the devastation of COVID-19 pandemic on countries and global economy, said the novel disease has rapidly and profoundly changed the world. He said the crisis, which has led to public health challenge, claiming the lives of over 123,000 people worldwide, has done incapable damage to the global economy. Also, we do know, like he says as well, crude oil prices, which have declined. It says global airline lost almost 250 billion in revenue. All these will have great impact with Nigeria and the economy as well. This is Star Radio UK. I'll go back straight to you now in the studio.
Well, listeners, Star Radio UK and Mr. Olayomi Koiki bringing you updates from Nigeria from his base here in Edmonton in London. Okay, we apologize sincerely for the lack of visual there. Yes, we're working, our technical team is working on it seriously, and once we are up, we'll link it up with you. But bear with us, so we have only the audio part of it. But Yomi, thank you very much. Now, the number of deaths in Nigeria from the COVID has risen to 19.
11 has risen to 11. We had about 10 as of yesterday. It's hard up again, and 99 people have been discharged. So 11 people have now died of COVID-19 in Nigeria.
Okay, 11 people have died. Now, when it comes to the palliative care that you were talking about earlier on, now they were saying that we're going to give the vulnerable, or those who don't have the means to survive, 1 meal.
That is the youth in most of the local government every day, from the Lagos state, not the whole state. This is a Lagos state government putting that measures in place. And they would have been.
Hello? Yes, listeners, just bear with us. Yes, Yomi?
Okay, because I think I saw another call coming from the studio, so I wasn't sure. Okay,
so, sorry about that.
I was saying,
Okay.
That was the Lagos state government in place to support the citizens in their own local government within the state, and not just 1 food meal per those living in those areas. Also measures to support 250,000 vulnerables in the state as well.
How do they intend to give this food to them? But there have been some cases, a case in Ghana where they were distributing or sharing this food, and virtually the people have lined up. They were virtually not social distancing. So it virtually throws out of the window the social distancing that we're trying to get people to stay at home, because you have people now clamoring for the food, and therefore they are crammed up there, and virtually it's zero work that we are doing. So how do they plan to distribute this food?
Well, that has been one of the biggest challenges we've seen, whether from individuals, trying to support, or from the federal or the state, also trying to put in measures in terms of control people. I mean, it seems, I'm sure maybe the government of Lagos State will have reviewed after the first week of the stay at home and the palliative that was meant to be distributed. There was challenges. They do have records. Each state has a bit of record of those within their state that they also have been helping prior to this coronavirus, and I believe that they will be putting in some of those best measures to support, to make sure that the people that really have to have access to this fund, or those that will be having the meal, would not see a situation where people are not put in the kind of that 2-meter gap, rather than having more problem trying to also give the food. Also, while I'm looking at what the state is also doing, the State Security Council also met to address the increase in armed robberies and unrest in boundary communities. According to the governor, that have received increased help from the Inspector General of Police, with special force already addressing the element of breaching the peace in the affected communities. We saw people doing bonfire night now rather than staying indoors because of the threat of some hoodlums trying to either attack or come into, create them, within that community. And again, it seems Lagos State is on tack on that. We urge all residents to cooperate with them, and also thank them for their resilience, during this extraordinary time. I go back straight to you in the studio.
Well, listen, let's start Radio UK. Updates from Nigeria with Mr. Olayomi Koike. Apologies once again for the lack of visual there, but we're working on it. Now, moving on to some of the other stories there. Now, we have 188 deaths from Lassa fever in Nigeria. I mean, when we look at what is happening per COVID-19, we have 11 deaths, okay? But we're talking about 188. So we have these two issues going on at the same time. Now, is government, putting the Lassa fever issue on the back burner, or what are they doing? Are they trying to address both at the same time?
Well, the government, prior to the COVID-19, Lassa fever has always been something that we deal with, when people, leave their environment or their food open for, all sort of, animals, especially the rodents, cropping into it, and then eventually, the same food probably get eaten. And like you said, Nigeria is currently responding to an outbreak of Lassa fever, and this is coming from the Nigerian Center for Disease Control yesterday, or well, rather this morning. They posted that again this morning. Hand washing, again, is part of what we've been told with COVID-19. It's also been re-emphasized again with Lassa fever. Hand washing is one of the key ways to prevent the spread of Lassa fever and other infectious disease. To protect yourself and others, wash your hands regularly with soap under running water. Whether there will be running water in some of those rural areas is another thing we can always question. But apart from that, I believe that people must also take responsibility of cleanliness at this very difficult time that we are facing in the country.
Okay, listen, let's start Radio UK. My apologies for that. The technical team was testing the broadcast from there, but just bear with me whilst we have Mr. Olayomi Koiki bringing you those updates from Nigeria. Okay, just bear with me. All right then. Yes, my apologies.
That's fine. Yeah. Maybe should we just wrap it up quickly so that you can concentrate back on the. Let me just quickly give one of the last updates from here, and also CDC, which is the Nigerian Center for Disease Control, has also issued an advisory guiding Nigerians on the use of face masks. Recognizing the need for guidance on COVID-19 prevention, we remain committed to keeping our citizens informed on verified ways to stay safe. And like I said, a lot of states are also now putting in those palliative measures, and let's hope we won't see some of those images and videos that we saw in the first week of the lockdown, as the lockdown goes into another day too, as an extension, according to the federal government of the Nigerian, which started on Monday night.
Okay, listeners, we apologize once again for the lack of visual there. But let me say thank you very much to Mr. Olayomi Koiki. Tomorrow, God willing, we'll be coming your way with another update from Nigeria. But continue to stay tuned. Don't go away. It is Starr Radio UK. Yomi, have a wonderful day. Well, listeners, like I said, Mr. Olayomi Koiki from his base here in Edmonton. Archie, we take a musical break. We come back to you. We hope the issue has been sorted out by the technical team, and then we move on with the show. So stay tuned. Let me bring you another lovely tune. Enjoy it, and we go on.
Hi guys, this is your friend from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that you can download onto your smartphone and send money to Ghana and Nigeria. SendWave is absolutely commission free. No matter how many times you send money or whatever the amount may be, you will never have to pay any commission ever. Your money is transferred in 30 seconds, and right now, SendWave is offering the best exchange rates in the market. Don't believe me? Look for yourself. Join me on the morning show on Starr Radio every Tuesday at 12:45 p.m. In the meantime, download the SendWave app from the App Store or Google Play Store. Remember to use the promo code STARR to get £5 free credit. That's STARR. Bye for now.
Hello, good people. I'm back again, and this time it's about Mama's Choice Fufu Mix. It comes in 2 flavors, and it contains essential minerals and vitamins. It's gluten-free. You can grab one from the nearest Afro-Caribbean shop or the corner shop next to you. Insist it's Mama's Choice. It's certified by both the US and the UK Food Standard Boards. Grab one for yourself today. Mama's Choice. Baby Sa Charlie.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Baby jet, it will let mongo. It will let mongo. Check away, say move front, stand up back, and wine and my dente. So jagella, it's so pressure, what the queen the rest of queen, yeah. Come my yappy, but soon the chant and a man share. No. Shama can say, Name Moody and wash it. Shama Buddha, na me moody more than it. Shama Fijaman does you come in me more than Buddha, ya. Nana Yamina Betchere. Minimum Guraka Bay. I try your German sign, Yano ya. Nana Yamina Betchere. Maya won't campaign. I try your German sign, Buddha, ya. Nana Yamina Betchere. And if I was about many, under me who I am, if I would do my baby, I know that was our work for the air. If I was about many, under what you have, if I would do my hey, yeah, what can't be company? Many would they want to buy? Yeah, or me no, you're telling you what the kind. And see me day and Casa. Mini would they order pa, yeah, order me no, you're chayy, order kind, and Serabe, watch a more than me, a bio mind, and I know what if not me, on I am a Masai, and Serabe, watch a more than me, a bio mind, and I know what if not me, on I am a Masai, why though? My sister, my sense and a gas oil. The men who need now one other way. It's a food we told me that she be test. Show one boom slow me men who difference. It's a million pauses, yeah. Happily in so called there. Show 1, 2, 3, a jack, a dim. If I was about many, under me who I am. If I want to my baby, I know it was our work for the air. If I was about many, under what you have been. Mini would they want to buy? Yeah, or me no, you're telling what the kind. And see me day and Casa. Mini would they want to buy? Yeah, or me no, you're telling what the kind. Okay, what about me piano? What will be very asking not in the sun and way. On the board and in your city, mania we Mary. Oh, I won't feel away. What will be very asking?
This is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
You are my Jerry. Whoa, Gaga, you are my babe. I know if you run and leave you behind. Romeo and Juliet, if you were, you deserve to be my wife. You deserve it, I know they lie. You know the feel well without my mic. What a pity, no bag with me, if you were, you deserve to be my wife. Hey, no, do your way. You're telling what the kind. And see me day and Casa. Mini would they order pa. Yeah, or me know you're telling what the kind. And see me day and Casa. Mini would they order pa. Yeah, or me know you're telling what the kind. And see me day and Casa. Mini would they order pa. Yeah. Oda mi no me no ya che ya oda kai. Pay what bomb piano. What will be very asking not in and standing and sway. On the board and in your see them in your wee. Mary, oh, I won't feel away. What will be very asking on your near no there was it. On the board and in your see them in your wee say. Mary, baby jet, give me my mom.
You are my baby. I wanna see you smiling, see you laughing. You are my Jerry. Whoa, gaga, you are my babe. I know go feel run and leave you behind. This be Romeo and Juliet. If you were, you deserve to be my wife. You deserve it, I know they lie. You know they feel well without my mind.
Well, listeners, Star Radio UK. Once again, I apologize sincerely for the lack of visual when it came to broadcast from update from Nigeria with Mr. Olayomi Koiki. The technical team is working on it, and once we have a signal, we'll bring that one your way. But we continue with the program. I'm here. And I'm not here by myself. Like I said earlier on, I'm here with my colleague and co-presenter, Mr. Frank Davids, and we are going to make sure that we make your day. It is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. That tune was that is playing in the background was from our Castro Odopa featuring Baby Jet and Kofi Kinata. Thank you very much for enjoying that tune. But it's now gone 17 minutes to the top of the hour. At 12 o'clock, we'll open the lines. Normally, we'll finish the program exactly at 12 o'clock to take you to the Houses of Parliament for Prime Minister's question time. But in the COVID world, we continue in a lockdown. We'll continue to bring you all that you need to know pertaining to what is happening from across the globe. So let me go back to Mr. Frank Davis and let's look at some of the issues. I'll just touch on one issue that what they call him is Olayomi Koiki. They touch on, and we just move on to some other stories. The lines today, we are not using our main lines. Yeah, our main lines. That's the 0208 line. We are not using that today. We are using only one line. So you call in, you come on, you say what you want to say, and then it's just going to be one line traffic. So once then you drop, and then another person can call in. Yes. So I will announce it now, and then we'll activate it in the next 5 minutes. That's 0203 3711 882 0203 3711 882. You call that number, will allow you to share your take on issues that is going on. And again, you can still post your comments on our Facebook page, and we'll be able to share it with our worldwide listeners. Okay, thank you very, very much. Okay, so you already talk about palliative care. I mean, talking about a stand that the Lagos State governor has taken to make sure that they get food to the youth. And he was talking about 1 meal. I don't know 1 meal, whether we call it square or round or hexagon, whatever it is. So, but watching some videos that I've come across on social media platforms where people are, I mean, let's say government or individuals are trying to help people, but the stand that they are taking is rather exposing these individuals to worst case scenario. I mean, virtually defeating the purpose of the lockdown. So I asked the question, I asked Olayomi, how are they going to see to do it?
Archie, let's for the governments, all those individuals who are out there trying to help provide at least something for those vulnerable people, we say thank you. But for their efforts, probably even these people will not have even the 1 meal that we're talking about. But actually, aside that, we need to look at conditions that have orchestrated where we are today. I am not saying the UK over here we do not have people who, I mean, have to beg to live.
Yeah. We have people who sleep.
We have people who sleep on the streets. We have food banks.
Yeah.
We have people who have been supported by charities. We have people who do not even have money to buy energy.
And
other things. So I am not saying UK, other countries are heaven, but we're talking about the disproportionate number of people that are very, very vulnerable when it comes to our part of the world. Archie, going about sharing food is a manifestation of the failure of the system to address issues that needed to be addressed years back.
Now, let me just pause there for a minute. Now, someone listening to us is going to say that, look, when it comes to how we have corner shops and we have these big shops, the supermarkets that people can go to, our place is not set up that way. We have to go to the market to get it.
If you have the markets, these people that are not able to go and work now, don't forget, some people eat from hand to mouth.
Of course.
People jump on the street, and what they do today is what survives them for the next 30 hours. Past the 30 hours, if they are not there
again, they
doing something, they can't get something into their mouth. And that's the system I'm talking about. That we have not been able to provide systems that provide cushion for the most vulnerable in our society. Let me give you a classic example, Archie. If you take Ghana, for instance, we are talking on lockdown. How are pensioners going to get their money? No, Archie, typically, a pensioner from Kofrodua, a village close to Kofrodua, will have to move to Kofrodua Township to Ghana Commercial Bank over there to get their money. Have we thought about them to make provision that within this lockdown, if it's going to take 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, there's a way or there's a structure we've put in place to ensure that they did not need to move from where they are to be able to get something that will buy them kerosene, that's something that will buy them akpetishi, something that will buy them pure water, something that will buy them plantain. Have we done that?
That's a big question.
So basically, the system that we put in place, actually, I'm not saying, look, what they are doing, feeding people, feeding the vulnerable is not good. But I'm saying that we created or we've not actually lived up to expectation. Our countries have not actually put up structures and systems to be able to withstand situations such as this. And it's just exposing us. We talk about unemployed people and they'll come and quote GDP, what they call it, inflation figures. Actually, a robust, okay, let's assume you are a household. Let's take it from the household level. You are rich. You profess to be doing well. You shut your shop 2 days and the next day you are crying of not having food. There are two things that might have happened. Either you did not save, either you were exaggerating your well-being, okay, you didn't plan well. So if you look at all our economies across the African continent, take Nigeria and take Ghana for instance, COVID came and the economies that are being touted as being the best, growing at certain level, are now begging on their knees. What is it? Are we building economies based on the principle of helium and Balu?
Something blows you.
Are you getting me? So actually, for me, what is happening now, I call COVID a leveler and an authority. It's actually teaching us to rethink. It's a call on our leaders to now rethink. It's a call on all of us to now do a bit of rethinking. What are the society that we're building? Can we continue to have a system where the disparity between the have and those who do not have it? Look at President Mahama, right? Let's assume he came to power. He succeeded in making sure that at least the majority of Ghanaians can have food on their table. Do you think he would have been donating 20,000, would have been feeding 20,000 households yesterday?
No.
No. It tells you that the system that we built are not strong enough. We've not built systems that were able to deal with a situation such as this. And therefore, we have a sea of vulnerable people. Look, actually, my dad is a pensioner. I asked you that pensioner's question because my dad has to travel to go and get his pension if he has to. I've told him to stay home because if you look at the risk involved, as no one has contacted him to tell him that okay, because of this thing, we're now going to credit your pension into your mobile wallet. Which they can do, which is possible. We're now going to send probably an agent, a bank official who come to this area like they used to do through the post office and then pay the people. Because they could deploy a bank official with one bank card, the whole district, 2 bank officials can do that, like the way they used to pay cocoa farmers. We've not thought about, but there's a sea of pensioners out there whose livelihood depends solely on the meager pension that they do have. Is it because they are aged? Is it because they cannot contribute productively today? Is it because they cannot come and queue and therefore we've neglected them? So, well, if my father doesn't have his children, and there are thousands of people there who do not have people to depend on, what would they be doing? Are you getting me, Archie? Are you getting what I'm going to? So, for me, this is a call. This is a very clear call to all of us. The system that we are building, are they solid enough to withstand even an earthquake?
That is something that,
Actually, take what happens in other parts of the world. Hurricane, tsunamis and other things. Should that strike Nigeria, how can they go? Should that strike Kenya, how would they be able to survive? Should that strike Uganda, how are they going to survive? So these are the questions we should be asking. So for me, everything that is happening now, people queuing to get food, people struggling to get bread. Another scene yesterday, a whole truck, people actually covered the structure trying to steal rice.
Wow.
Actually,
that's how desperate people are.
It tells you the destitution, the desperation, and the vulnerability within our system. Actually, I'll show you the video. I wanted to play the book, probably play it tomorrow.
Okay.
A moving truck. People surrounded it, trying to steal rice from me. Do you think people put their life at risk if they know they are going to get porridge at home to even eat? Again, that brings a question of where are all these people in the urban area? Again, it comes about the dual system that we've encouraged, the rural-urban dichotomy that we do have. That because I live in Yamrasi, I cannot have a bit of the resemblance of quality life. Are you getting me? In this country, I'm not saying everything is perfect. Signals might be bad, but a pupil, now that we've closed school, on a Scottish island, can have some resemblance of what? Online tuition, if they so wish. Are you getting me? So yes, you might have fiber over here that give you probably 100 megabyte per second. The person might have a what do you call it? It's still a dial-up system. That give the person 0.5 megabyte per second.
But still, at least they can
there's still a bit of
access online. They
will invest more time because it's gonna take them more time to get a document that you take you a second to get. But there's still a bit of resemblance of that. Are you getting me? In our part of the world, when you live in a village in Ekiti, you, by the virtue of where you are birthed, life seems to be cut off from you. But you are asked to compete with someone in Lagos. How do you manage? Are you a magician? Even magicians need some instruments and some things to work with.
It should be on a bit of a platform, but you are underground. Somebody is standing on the mountain. He said, let's do it.
Me, everything that COVID is unraveling in our system, personally, I thank God for what is bringing up. I am not happy COVID is ravaging lives, but it is actually exposing the wounds that we had in our system that we've used, what do you call it, chocolate,
to cover it.
To cover, and we lick the surface of chocolate, thinking that it's sweet, without knowing that there are maggots. Underneath. Actually, I watch some of these videos, and I ask myself, how come? Why? What offense have they committed? Actually, it is so serious. So, whether the governor is providing 1 meal or not, we shouldn't look at this situation as because we've provided a meal and let it be over. COVID might be here with us today.
Yeah.
Tomorrow it might be vetoed.
Yeah, they have loads of events going on in Nigeria at the moment. They have 188 people who have died.
And as we speak, the northern part of Ghana will have CMS.
Yeah.
Cerebral meningitis.
Meningitis.
Killing people. Are you getting me? Today it might be a virus. Tomorrow it might be a natural disaster.
Yeah. Yeah.
How are we building our society? How come that Archie? We do have a system. Let's take Ghana for instance. About almost 50% of the salary of the taxes that we collect is used to pay workers. Do you know the number of people on government payroll?
Not sure.
The number of people on government payroll is less than 1 million.
Wow. And half of the taxes that are collected.
Half of the tax is used to pay them. Call it that way, yeah? Now you have a population close to 30 million. Half of the taxes from Kayayos, whatever, and whatever is used to pay 1 million people. Now you ask yourself, yes, take another 2-3 million that might be doing. Good. Now you look at the other people. How do they survive? Are you getting me? Now, the other half of the taxes, we use it to pay debt and other things that we get. And most of the debts, when they come, we contract them, we're going to build a bridge over a village that connects, what do you call it, a farmland or a farm community in Zamfara, a community in Zamfara state to another. That bridge is built on paper.
Yeah.
Without actually providing the bridge that the inhabitants of that Zamfara village needs to cross. Actually, let's cast our mind back a few months ago. We had the Ghana government telling us they were building one village, one dam.
Yeah.
The dams, the focus of the dams was that to be there during, dry season. The dry season came and the dams also dried with the dry season.
Yeah.
So you ask yourself, do we need a dam during rainy season?
No, we need it during the dry season.
So
that's
if they dry with the they have something that is
yeah.
So a few of them that did not stand, what have we done? So if we sunk money into that to be able to help the villages and those communities, well intended from the president and from very well intended program, to be able to continue cultivating their fruits, vegetables, to be able to live on. The implementation part, some technical people did not do their jobs well. Some politicians at the front line did not do their job well. Meanwhile, they've reported to the person who had voted for that, Anana, we have finished.
Yeah. Yeah, he sitting there thinks, oh yes, of course.
So he can set of nation address and tell you we've done this.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the expected impact that dam is supposed to bring is zero.
Wow.
Actually, so for me, it is time as a people, we all sit back, and this has nothing to do APC, DPP, Kenyatta, or whoever. It has to do with all of us. Because if you take Ghana, for instance, you tell me that actually, when Akufo-Addo came to power, did you see him demolishing some buildings that were built
at
for
all. No, they didn't.
So Mahama cannot tell me today that Akufo-Addo that has called the problem the Kaya because the Kayayos were there before.
Yeah.
The Kayayos were there before Akufo-Addo. Akufo-Addo did not take a bulldozer to bulldoze the community that was built down for the Kayayos. So I am not talking about individuals here. I am talking about a system.
Yeah, that is failing our people.
That is failing our people. And the successive government have not been able to. When Buhari came, what blame did he the PDP. Jonathan off? Did you see Buhari destroying any farm?
No.
That would have filled any state farm?
No.
No. But we have a problem over here.
Yeah.
Should we blame him alone? No. Has he done anything different from what
the others? No.
I have not seen it. I have not seen it. So actually, for me, where I sit, take politics aside. Yes, people might do politics. I am saying the systems that we have built over the last 50 years, we have been exposed by COVID.
Yeah.
And if our leaders, our politicians will not use this as a platform to start rethinking how we move forward, that for the next 10 years, for the next 5 years, as Africans, as a people, as Caribbeans, I watched something from Haiti and other things, and I was appalled. Are you getting me?
Okay.
We sit back and rethink that, look, this is a template we followed. COVID exposed that it has been a fraudulent one.
Yeah.
That we have actually built, what do you call it, houses that could not even stand, 3 drop, what do you call it, 1 liter of rain. 1 inch of rain. How much more if torrential rains come? That's exactly. You build your tent, tornado has not arrived, the first wind that comes before the rain
blew you and your tent away.
And you are expecting heavy rains. Archie, you are expecting heavy rains.
Oh God.
You are suffering in autumn.
When winter comes,
what are you going to do?
You can't stand it.
Your boiler is breaking down. It's not providing you heat in autumn. The little bit that you want is not, and then you are telling me that you are able to stand
winter.
Winter. Archie.
Wow.
They brought you to Scotland. You couldn't stand. You say it's too cold. Now you say they should give you Saskatchewan to go and reside over there. How are you going to? Aberdeen, you couldn't even stand the winter in Aberdeen. You want to go to Ottawa. Archie.
Now, listen to Starr Radio UK for you. It's quite a worrying time, and like Frank said, our systems are not robust enough to sustain us during even these times. Because has it been the way Ebola was virtually killing people? If COVID was killing people the same way, I tell you, by this time we've finished. Our people will be gone.
Yeah, our people. And again, the good thing about this COVID is that it's giving us time. It's giving us time. The way Ebola, in fact, last week Ebola started again somewhere in Congo.
Yeah, it's been there for some time now. They've not been able to.
Ebola, actually, the way it moves is different from where COVID is moving, and that's our lack. And the rate at which it kills, like the way you say, it's a big, swift, rapid, straight, and the way it infects is different from the way
COVID infects. Yeah,
that is our lack. And I do believe that if we do not plan ahead, COVID might come and go, another thing might come,
and it will wipe us off.
It might not be able to do. So actually, let's look at this as all of us, including all of us.
Yeah.
All of us, no one excluded. No one excluded. The way we do our politics, the way we've even advised our families, the way we've contributed to our communities, we should do a rethink going forward. If not, today we might overpass. It might pass over us.
Yeah, but tomorrow we might be in the middle of it.
We might be in the middle of it.
Listeners, Star Radio UK, Mr. Frank Davis for you. But Frank, before we move on from the African issue that we were talking about, now yesterday, the Chancellor of the Exchequer, we had the some reports coming in saying that look, with what is going on, it's going to cost the nation if we are locked down for 3 months. I mean, every month at least 39 billion that we need to borrow. Okay. And therefore, they are looking at the devastation that is going to happen. And they are saying that it's not all companies that will be saved. How some households cannot be saved with what is going to go on. That hard times are about to come, which we all know because government didn't have those money sitting down for them. So we have reserves and therefore we are spending. And therefore, we are just spending what we don't have. Now, how is Africa going to survive this after everything is over, done? And because we take Nigeria is dependent on oil. I remember a few times that we had a chat with some of the people who are thinking proactively, saying that look, we have other crops that we can implement or use to, reach out, and we can be making lots of money.
Actually, have you been to a hamlet, a village where someone probably live in a farm, they are tied to the land, and everything they eat, everything
they grow, they grow and eat that,
and sometimes they sell trap and other things. Now look at this. Do you think it's going to have so much devastating effect on them?
No, they depend on what they grow, what they eat.
Apart from a few things that they go and buy, prices are expected to rise. Are you getting me? That is fine. Actually, what I'm trying to say, if you take a villager, someone who is in a cottage, someone who is in a hamlet, will take the basic principle that they apply, which is self-sustenance. We grow. I had a video from someone, a friend of ours who used to reside here, flew back to Ghana last year, settled just in front of her house. She used, like the way you have your garden, she used it to plant okra, what do you call it, pepper, garden eggs and other things. Yes, tomatoes and everything. And I said, well, yesterday she said, look, you know what, I don't need to go to market. I step out and I can get some of these to help me. Now, actually, the same principles Africans we must start applying. That we cannot rely and depend on perfumed rice from Thailand and Vietnam. We cannot do that. We cannot rely continuously on Belgium chocolate.
No.
We cannot have people justifying for us and to us that it is prudent to get oil from Nigeria, ship that oil to Netherlands, or for it to be refined and then bring back finished product. It can no longer be justified that we should have oil in Ghana and a president and cabinet and ministers, governments upon government, telling us that we need to get our oil to international market for it to be accepted while we continue to buy refined product. A villager, does it take his tomatoes, her pepper to Makola market to be accepted before they come to consume it? Does it make sense to us? It doesn't make sense
at all.
If it is good for the world market to consume, why
is it not good for us?
So Archie, for me, I say COVID is a leveler, and if we do not think, and this is about the time we need to even use COVID to start breaking some international agreements that tie our hands. Some agreement that our grandfathers, forefathers, people who only think through their pocket, powered by their stomachs, have signed on our behalf, that will continue to head us. This is a time we have to start breaking them. How are we going to survive? Actually, we need to start looking inward. It shouldn't be difficult for us to encourage Nigerians to go back into peanut farming. Are you getting me? If we cannot get sunflower oil from somewhere, we can get peanut oil. Are you getting me? If we cannot get sunflower oil from Malaysia, Cameroon grows a lot of sunflower seeds. Are you getting me? So for me, actually, this is a leveler. let's go back to the drawing board. Our architecture, the way we built our economies, COVID has proven that we were actually doing cutting wood.
And a bit of a wind. We are gone.
A bit of a wind. We need solid infrastructure. We need to invest in ourselves. We need to invest in agriculture. We need to invest in that anything that have at least, call it, even if we don't have fish. Archie, I mean, look, when I was in the boarding house, when your sardine finish, when your shito finish,
yes,
sometimes we grind raw pepper and eat it.
Survivor.
Are you getting me? Military people will tell you that people who have been military, they get to a point when they do not have food, they hunt raw animals and eat things that are wholesome in the bush, just to survive. Archie, are you getting me? So, if COVID has come on us today, let's be grateful for something. For me, we should not be looking at the negative side of it alone. We should be, how is he exposing that, and how can we use it as a stepping stone? Because actually, if we can actually use COVID as a leveler, as a teacher, Africa will never be the same.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But Baumia says something I 100% agree with him. That the world order, the way the economics are structured, will be different. Now the question I ask him though is that will his thinking, the kind of agreement that he signed, the kind of agreement that he's been part of, would that change? Would they start thinking from the people, not from their pockets? If we can get leaders that will be doing that, Archie, we'll be happy. But we need to understand that, Archie, the law of nature is simple. The stomach carries the head.
Of course.
That's the law of nature.
Course.
The stomach carries the head.
Uh-huh.
And then empowers the head to be able to think of how to refuel the stomach.
Yeah.
That is why when you are birth, you are not giving solid food first. No, you are giving milk for the head to think of how to feed. And past that,
so the head thinks you need solid food though.
Actually, the head cannot function without the tummy. It can't.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah,
it cannot function.
It's true.
So the first thing we need to do, how do we power the head through the tummy? How do we get what we have within our community? Actually, let's assume that all these people have something to do. You think they'll be crumbling for
at all? Why would they do? Because you know that you are exposing yourself to this infection. Okay. So why do you want to do it?
You think that if I look at my granddad, who has been tied to the land for years, growing peanut in Ekiti, and then after that, the value of that peanut, or how much he's able to make out of that peanut, he's able to build a place he can call home, not a place where the moment he hear the crowd, they turn down. He's looking for an escape route, because the tent, the hut that he is in, he might end up putting buckets and everything. How do I collect this water? Are you getting me? Do you think I would be so stupid to come and be sleeping on the street in Accra or Lagos, carrying chewing stick, selling, just to make sure that I make something to eat? No. Actually, it will not happen. It's not going to happen. Take our pensioners. I've been a teacher. I've been a nurse. I've been probably a great extension officer.
Yeah.
Somewhere in Kampala, Blantyre, working hard, being paid. I go to pension in a village somewhere in Malawi, and my life overnight. But because I'm a pensioner, my life overnight turned upside down. Are you getting me? I cannot even feed myself. The pension that they give me cannot even pay my electricity bills.
Talk less, feed you.
Do you think if you are the son of that teacher, you'll be interested?
At all. You don't want to know.
Are you getting me?
You don't want to know at all.
Archie, ask yourself. Think Uganda. If we go to Uganda, for instance, right?
Mm-hmm.
The total number of teachers, how many of those teachers are able to build a place they can call home? Actually, do you know a teacher in South Korea? Do you know their per capita GDP? Do you know how much a teacher, a pensioner?
Yes.
I had a privilege of hosting a family.
Oh yeah, was it last year?
Last year.
Yeah, I remember.
My friend, he came from South Korea.
Yeah.
He was a teacher. The wife was a teacher. They are on pension now. Actually, do you know how much they make out of their pension a year? About $30,000. They're able to go on holiday. And he said, look, we didn't need to do anything, but our teaching job was enough to build out our home.
Mm-hmm.
We are on pension now. It's enough to take us to our holidays. It's enough to cater for our insurance. It's enough to pay for our grandchildren to even go on playgrounds. Can you say that of a teacher somewhere in Mali?
Even whilst they are working, they don't have enough to fend for themselves. They have to wait maybe 3 months. Money is not coming. Wow.
For me, the COVID, anytime I wake up and I see some of these videos, my mind is, God, let our leaders, let us as a society use this as a rethinking process to know that the way we function our society, the way we build our communities, the structure that we build cannot stand. Look, we have over 70% of us who believe we are Christians. Even some are Muslim. The Bible says what? Those who build their
houses on the sand.
So we have built our economies on sand.
Yeah.
Tornado has not come to wash it off. The first wind from Libya, you know those Hamatan winds.
Yeah.
We are not. You know, actually, it's sad.
Honestly,
it is sad.
Honestly,
it is sad. It is sad. We shouldn't go and curse ourselves. The past is gone. We must learn lessons.
Yeah.
If we do not learn lessons, posterity will never
forgive us.
Posterity will never ever forgive us. And if you look through history, any time there has been a plague, there has been a change of the way the economy and the way the world functions. If you take back to 1720, the plague, it happens, the world economy changed. It ushered us into industrial revolution. All right. If you take the 1820s, again, it moved us beyond. If you take in the 1920s when the plague came and the Spanish flu, again opened a new avenue. So for me, I look at this as a window of opportunity. It's come, sad as it may be, and our condolences to all those who are losing their loved ones.
Yeah.
Our condolences for people who have spent months, years building their businesses that might not survive
this.
Yes, we sympathize with all of them. But actually, when it comes to Africa, the Latin Americans, our continents, our brothers and sisters in the Caribbean, this is an instructive time for us to rethink about the way we've done things over the years. It must not be business as usual. It must not be politics as usual. It must not be too much tribalism as usual. It might not be too much, I mean, I'm from this, I'm from this. This is the time we need to see how do we work together as a people to build our houses on solid ground.
Yeah.
That in case anything like this happen again, at least we will not see people
lining up the road for you to give them food to eat.
Come on. Anyway.
Well, listeners, we want to move on. We want to go on. I think we'll go on and on and on and on and on. But we'll take a break. We come back. The lines are open. Just get in touch with us. The line, let me not say the lines. The line is open. It's 0203 3711 882. 0203 3711 882. You can also text or WhatsApp us. This is 075 3966 1744. 075 39661744. Our Twitter is active. It's at Starr Radio UK, and email is info@starradiouk.com. You can also, put your messages on our Facebook page, and we'll be able to share it as well.
Actually, before we go on break, let me read something. Felix was saying something yesterday, and I think let me link this to what Felix saying before we go on break. When we come, this is coming from Oprah Winfrey. She has warned African Americans to take the coronavirus outbreak seriously, saying that the disease is taking people out. She said the virus was hitting the black community hard, and people aren't getting the message about the risks of a systematic career, she said. African Americans make up a disproportionate number of coronavirus deaths and hospitalization in the U.S. The U.S. is the epicenter of the pandemic with almost 600 cases, over 25,000 deaths. Government data suggests 33% of those in the U.S. hospital from coronavirus are blacks, even though 13% of the U.S. population is black. In Chicago, she said, 70% of those who died, 70% of those who died from the virus were African American, while 23% of the population. Winfrey said that initial message around did not connect to the US city audience in a way that they could hear. Break time.
Well, listeners, break time. But when we come back, we want to find out why are they dying. Somebody was saying there was a video on the social media platform that I think somebody sent it to me, whether early this morning or last night, and was talking about the fact that the Chinese conspiracy because they are they are overbloated in their country. They want another other continent to go to, another place to go and dwell, and therefore they brought this COVID-19 to wipe the African continent. And then I said that is absolutely BS. Now, when it comes to the U.S., where we know that we're talking about the majority of the people who are dying are blacks, the question is, have they come to understand exactly what is going on? Or do they think that they've got the immunity? And because of that stupidity, people are just venturing out. Yeah. They say lockdown, and they say, no, we are all that macho thing that we try to do, and they're behaving that way. And because of that, getting the infections. Or what? Because the first thing is that you have to get an infection before you get all these getting rushed to the hospitals and all the stuff. But can't we stop ourselves from getting the infection? That is another question. Because I don't think that there's been an aeroplane or something spraying COVID-19 on black communities. No, it's not like that. But we'll come back to you, and we'll have a proper look at what is exactly going on and what is the way forward for us all. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Hi guys, this is your friend from Sendwave. Sendwave is a money transfer app that you can download onto your smartphone and send money to Ghana and Nigeria. Sendwave is absolutely commission free. No matter how many times you send money or whatever the amount may be, you will never have to pay any commission ever. Your money is transferred in 30 seconds, and right now Sendwave is offering the best exchange rates in the market. Don't believe me? Look for yourself. Join me on the morning show on Starr Radio every Tuesday at 12:45 p.m. In the meantime, download the Sendwave app from the App Store or Google Play Store. Remember to use the promo code STARR to get £5 free credit. That's STARR. Bye for now.
Hello, good people. I'm back again, and this time it's about Mama's Choice Fufu Mix. It comes in 2 flavors, and it contains essential minerals and vitamins. It's gluten-free. You can grab one from the nearest Afro-Caribbean shop or the corner shop next to you. Insist it's Mama's Choice. It's certified by both the US and the UK Food Standard Boards. Grab one for yourself today. Mama's Choice. Charlie. Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Listen to Aunties Mary, Lottie and Regina on the Family Enrichment Programme on Starr Radio UK. This and every Saturday from 6 to 8 p.m.
Some people are wicked because don't make it your business going about revealing
people's secrets. Don't be a busybody.
And some people. Today's typical family is under pressure from various directions. Divorce is on the increase. More and more of the Afro-Caribbean youth are taking to crime, etc. The Family Enrichment Programme brings together a team of qualified experts to discuss and shed light on how we can make our families better and stronger. It is said the family can do without the society, but the society can't. Listen to the Family Enrichment Programme this and every Saturday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Starr Radio UK, your favourite Afro-Caribbean radio station in London.
Download our app in iTunes and the Google Play Store.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. The time now is 12:27. The lines are open. You want to join us, like I said earlier on, it's 0203 3711 882. 0203 3711 882. Just dial in. It's just that number that we're using today. So you dial in, you make your case, or you present whatever you want to say, and then you go, and then someone else can also come on. That would be lovely. But let's hear from you. Or you can text or WhatsApp at 07539661744. 07539661744. Our Twitter handle is at Starr Radio UK, and email address is info@starradiouk.com. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now let's move on. Now with me in the studio is my colleague and co-presenter, Mr. Frank Davis. You were listening to him a moment ago, trying to analyze a few of the things that is going on Africa, lessons that has to be learned, and the way forward for us, as to whether our leaders are going to hearken to that or look at it from that perspective is another question. But hey, maybe you listening to us have a view and you think that maybe there is hope for us. Maybe with what is going on, you don't see anything wrong. As somebody did say yesterday, now they don't say how they think that we were beating about it, which are going over the top. But whatever it is, we want you to share your take with us. Now, Frank, before we took the break, you did touch on the Oprah Winfrey's message that she's put across.
Yeah.
And it is quite mind-provoking. Now, it's not like I said before we went on the break, like they are spraying the black communities with the COVID, or they are exposing them to the COVID, and therefore we can say, oh, because of that act, it's making them die.
Yeah.
Now, we know that when you get to the intensive care, it's 50-50. Your chances are 50-50 because it's your immune system. Yesterday, we had Felix saying that the food that our people eat is such that makes them vulnerable.
Yeah.
Okay, so from the word go, you're going to eat all this KFC, you're going to eat all this food. So your system already, because they say that if you have diabetes, a form of, you are vulnerable.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are eating all those stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so if more people are dying there, then we have to ask ourselves the question. They are not throwing this on us. They are not infecting. They're not spraying us with those things. What are we doing personally to get this on us? And how do we get ourselves out of that?
Archie, there was this notion, I'm not blaming it entirely, within, when it started from China, we thought, like, I think Felix alluded to that briefly yesterday as well, that this is a disease not meant for our skin, our type, and our kind. And therefore, probably we took things for granted. The other, and therefore, the infection rates could have gone up.
Yeah.
Like Felix again said yesterday about the way the communal dwelling, there are historical, undertones to some of these things that goes into the heart of racism, discrimination, and other things. How we live, how we dwell, that in the black community, you're likely to see intergenerational dwelling than you find in, most of the Caribbean, most
Caucasian,
community.
homes,
therefore, when one person is infected,
a whole household.
Again, you're looking at pre-existing conditions, which carefully, if you look at them, might be linked to a bit of the kind of food that we eat, directly associated with our income levels, the kind of jobs that we do, and therefore predisposal to some of these
infections.
You think again, our community, we are the least to go for checkups, to even understand whether we have some pre-existing condition. And if you look at America, because of our income level, we are the least to even go, because affordability when it comes to
health insurance,
and therefore health issues we might have, and we do not know about them. Now again, you look at America, the people who are likely to go out there to work in the midst of this difficulty are people on lower incomes. Are people on lower income. So someone who is doing a job where there's no pension, they are not being paid, might get a bit of check, but it might not be enough to pay for their rent, to pay for this, and therefore if there's an opportunity to go and work, they go to work, and they are more predisposed to getting some of these illnesses than a Caucasian will have. Our support network might also be weak, but actually again, we need to look at ourselves. Do we discount? Do we take interest in researching our people leading us, our community leaders? Do we take interest in trying to help spread news about what is happening and the devastating effect it will have on us?
Not really.
Not really.
We want to be spreading the false news, fake news around.
Is it? Yes, I accept that we need to get to a point where research will need to go in to understand scientifically why we have in Chicago, where the population are less than 30%, but 70% of the deaths are blacks. Again, we need to understand why in this country, of 11 health workers that have died, one died this morning. All of them, without exception, are black and ethnic minority. We need to understand that, because statistically, it doesn't make sense. Are you getting me? So actually, it's a very, very difficult situation, but we as a people, we as Africans, we as black, we need to do introspection and start asking ourselves, how come? I was telling you, was it you that was telling? Was that Monday? Okay, where I live, I told you hardly with my neighbors. Unless if I don't know, I have this in me that I don't even have the time. I start early, come back late. I got there on Monday. In fact, I went home. Monday was, I told you I didn't go in. No, it wasn't Monday.
It was Monday.
It was Sunday.
No, Sunday we were here.
Yes.
It was Monday.
Yes, it was Sunday.
Okay.
Sunday when I got back home. I got back home right around 4 o'clock, and this is what happened. I saw a group. Don't forget, lockdown is in place. Social distancing is in place. And I'm going to tell you something that will shock you. I'm talking about UK here. Clapham. I saw a group of young men, about numbering about 7. Outside, I wouldn't call them young men. Young men.
Yeah.
Playing music, drinking outside. Archie, 2 people were coming again, same color, same skin color. They stopped them, started talking. I sat back. I know one of them lives in the area, but the others were not from that area. Guess what? They were Ghanaians.
Wow.
They were Ghanaians. They were speaking Tree.
Wow.
Right? I parked, got out of my car straight. I could hear them speak Tree. And I know one of them is a Ghanaian. Now the question is, social distancing was in place. Lockdown was in place. They defiled that.
All those things, yeah.
And they were also playing, they put music as if, you know, the kind of Nigeria, you know, when our people were from they were playing music outside with, they used it Bluetooth.
Ghetto blaster.
And they were drinking, smoking outside. And talking on top of there. So, if anything happens to all of them over here, do you blame the system?
You can't. You can't at all.
These are my brothers and sisters. My kind. My countrymen and women, Archie. Anything happens to them over there, 2 of them that were coming, they were from town. You don't know where they are from.
Where they been to?
You don't know where they are from. You don't know where they went to. They also joined in. Archie. So we also have to do a bit of introspection.
Yeah. Yeah.
When the 2 got there and were shaking hands with them.
Shaking hands?
Oh, yes.
Oh, gosh.
When they were shaking hands with them, I went in, I was by my window and I was observing whatever was going on. I did not see anyone use sanitizer
or anything.
Why? I did not see anyone. Oh, I don't know where
so
you're from. No.
Oh my.
No. So actually, again, when we're calling on people, we're looking at the general situation. As a people, we need to do introspection. We cannot, if anything happened to those group of people, actually, they cannot blame God. In fact, if they blame God, or if they call on God, if I was
send
God,
I
would send Jamaica to whip them for being disobedient to the authorities and be disobedient to the laws of the land. You can blame anyone.
Yeah.
I can't say you've been a Kumanchi.
Yeah. It's interesting because I'm just looking at the same analogy, thinking that is what, because if you look at things that goes on in the US, I mean, you went to some of the areas and you look at the way they behave and ask myself, why do you behave that way? Why can't you carry yourself in a particular way? I'm not saying that be copying. We copy good things that people do. Okay, you try to. See that somebody is doing something good, you mimic that thing and try to see your best how you can also be there, moving that way that the person is. But we don't see those things at all. No, this is our ways, and this is what we want to do.
Let's assume smoking weed is able to withstand coronavirus. It doesn't mean that I should smoke weed and go and take the virus on myself. It doesn't mean that I should smoke weed and go and risk. Have you ever seen a pilot? Have you ever seen a military man who has a life jacket, a parachute, who deliberately destroy their flight, knowing that
I've got a parachute? You don't know where you're going to land. You don't know.
Actually, have you seen it?
Never.
Will you hit your car on the airbag? Have you seen a fisherman, one fisherman who jumped on, destroy his boat, or basically direct the boat to go and
hit a rock or something because he has a life jacket?
No. Those are there to mitigate or to help you in case of emergency. Have you seen? We all have. If you are on a plane, you do have a life jacket sometimes. Yeah. Have you seen a pilot crashing in deliberately just because?
You have the life jacket.
What tells you that? Because you have ginger, you have lemon, you have this thing that you are drinking, you are smoking weed, you should go and risk your life. Archie, even Pope, who is close to Jesus,
Even he didn't have mass with people.
Even Pope was forced to actually deliver a sermon from an empty St. Petersburg Square, where even pigeons escaped. I don't know.
The pigeons were escaped.
Pigeons were not even there. What are they coming to do when human beings are not there to bring them food? The pigeons were not even there. The Pope was forced to deliver his Easter message from an empty St. Peter's Square.
Yeah.
A square that would have been filled. Was deserted.
Yeah.
Pope, actually between me and you, on the ladder of Christians, Pope might be called a saint. Me and you, our sainthood. Even he, was practicing social distancing. The pigeons,
even
animals even escaped. Have you seen? There was a video that I saw. The dog was wearing mask.
I didn't see the cat.
The
cats were isolated.
Actually, do not. So actually, our people need to. That when things like this are happening, you end up. Yesterday I was talking with a friend of mine called me, and sometimes when you stuck in some corner, I'll listen to you. And pray within my spirit that God breathe wisdom
into them.
The person was going about with this 5G issue, and this does not believe the virus again, and what do you call it? They lied to us that the prime minister was in hospital and all kind of things. People are not dying. Look, Archie, at a point, I put my phone on speaker and I was working. When they said, they was saying,
are you there?
Because I don't want to be rude. I didn't want to be rude. It's a pedal of respect. I don't want to be rude. When they finish, I breathe my spirit. God,
thank you.
Thank you, breathe wisdom. Let them come to understanding there's something we call risk. There's something we call wisdom that must be applied in times like this. So actually, whatever is happening in our community, we are part and parcel of it to a large extent. Yes, the environmental conditions, there are historical conditions, but we are also being part of the problem.
What is happening? Well, listeners, that is Mr. Frank Davis for you. This morning, the program has taken a new turn where we're looking at the impact of the COVID-19 on the black communities on the African continent, on the Caribbean continent, Caribbean area, and then on our black communities. How are we positioned ourselves to get infected, and how, after all this, how do we actually get out of it? And for future sake, should something happen of this magnitude, are we able to build our system so that they are going to be robust enough to withstand such a shock? Well, that is another question for another day. But like we said earlier on, you can also join in. You can call us on 0203 3711 0203 3711 I saw somebody was calling in. I think I missed that call, but do your best. If you want to call and we will be able to pick it up. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now let's move on to we just got about 60 minutes to go, to the World Health Organization and Donald Trump. Now, sometime last week we did talk about the fact that Donald Trump seemed to be castigating them, and then some people are alluding that because the leader is from Africa. Okay. And we had lots of African leaders, throwing their support behind him, saying that, hey, we will not allow such thing to happen. But the President of the United States of America, Donald Trump, has said he is going to hold funding to the World Health Organization because it has failed in the basic duty in its response to the coronavirus outbreak. He accused the UN agency of mismanaging and covering up the spread of the virus after it emerged in China, and said it must be held accountable. Now, in response, the UN chief said it was not the time to cut funds to the World Organization. Mr. Trump has been under fire for his own handling of the pandemic. He has sought to deflect persistent criticism that he acted too slowly to stop the virus, the virus is spread by pointing to his decision in late January to place restriction on travel from China. He has accused the World Organization of having criticized that decision and of being biased towards China more generally. Now, I remember last week we were talking about this, and you did say that, look, if we all have devastation going on. You have people dying. You have people dying. If I didn't tell you that, look, my cat has died and my dog also, the mouse in my house has died and everything. You cannot say that the people who are dying in your area is not true. It's true that your people are dying. So why is it now coming after, first of all, criticizing China? He was blaming China for all that. That China wasn't coming out with the right figures, and that there was that cavalier to, hide some of the figures from there. Yeah, fine. But he is now being criticized, and now has turned his guns onto the World Organization, finding them to blame. Now, what is going on?
Archie, thank you for that. I think it's something I watched. Donald Trump. I love news. Movies is where you can't get me, so don't ask me of who is the actors and who in any title. But when it comes to news, I try to follow it keenly. And actually, yesterday I watched, and the conclusion I drew was a classic attention diversion strategy from Trump's camp. That's number one. Number two, U.S. is absolutely right to question an organization that they have been funding to account for how they are doing their job.
Okay.
I do not want to zero it and believe that it is because the head is an African.
Okay.
I do believe and I do know that that conclusion might be arrived at because in his appointment, China has been seen to have supported him and has been one of his strong backers in getting that appointment.
Okay.
We also do know that when the issue started, there are some advices that came from World Health Organization that have turned out not to be correct.
Yeah.
For instance, not urging a lockdown when it started in China. But I do have a problem when we blame the organization for what we might call underreporting of figures. I do not see anything. I do not see how we expected them to do.
They were not the ones going around counting them. Is the government that was
to go into the virus zones, send people over there? But what did you expect them to do? I don't understand. I don't understand it. Actually, if my records and my memory serves me right, and I think I do, let me see. I might just have a bit of reference here to make. We do know that was it in July 2015. That was it, 21st of July 2015. President Obama then addressing the U.S. state, the Congress, and this thing, did one in Maryland. It was a Tuesday, telling them that, look, what is about confronting the U.S. must prepare for anything that will be a resemblance of what we are seeing today. Many reference to what happened 100 years ago, the Spanish flu, and told them that the necessary action and the needful needed to be done at that time by the US, which is a superpower, which allotted to itself a big brother who wants to command everyone, to make provision and be prepared that when it comes, they are able to defend their country against the virus and to be those who are stepping out to the plate to help the global world fight off. He specifically said 5 years. It's 5 years.
Exactly. So his prediction was right.
Now, unless Donald Trump is telling me he doesn't know anything about history, unless he's telling me, like he's demonstrated over the years, that anything that was said before
it's all rubbish. Let's chuck it.
Okay, let's leave that. Donald Trump doesn't like Obama. Obama came into power in 2008. In 2006 or 7 or so, I remember, George Bush makes a similar comment, warning about an epidemic and calling on US to be prepared. The question that we should be asking Donald Trump, when he started in China, what did he do?
He said it's the Chinese disease for the Chinese.
What did he do? Did he listen to World Health Organization before he shut down? Why didn't he do the shutdown earlier? The information Trump himself sent out there encouraged people not to take the necessary precautions.
Yeah.
So when we talk of people who have been reckless in handling this, you cannot go past Trump to any other person. No. When we talk of people who have been reckless, that's why I say on this, the presidents in Africa have done well above what Trump and others did. Yes, our structures, facilities might not be so robust, but they've taken decisions that, in my view, were timely, prudent, more better than what the US did when they had the opportunity to do it. Are you get me? They were putting economy above common sense.
Yeah.
Actually, even me seated over here, we were here when it started in China.
Yeah, we talked about it how many times?
What did we do? We started buying the needed food to even go and get a full gallon of spirit. Probably we're stupid, Archie. We might not have it today. Who knows? Probably that surgical spirit, the actions that we've taken, probably that
Yeah, it would.
We will do what we need to do humanly possible and let the universe do the rest. So for me, Donald Trump might have his point, might have this. Yes, World Health Organization should also look at how they diversify their sources of income. When you eat from one plate, and the person decides that today I need that plate to go and feed my grandmother, you might end up. That is it. You see, we should understand the agenda Trump came with. He has been trying to destroy all world organizations, to move away institutions that have a bit of control and regulate what the vulnerable people could fall on, what the organization could fall on, to check the the ravaging effect of the carnage, certain aspects of capitalism
as cause.
He wants to take that off. Let's destroy all those structures so that everyone for himself,
God for
us all. What did we see about the Alaska pipeline?
Yeah.
What did we see about the climate protocol?
Yeah.
What was it? Even NATO. What did we see? What attack has UN not endured? What happened to the nuclear deal between Europe, America, and Iran? Actually, you must understand the person you're dealing with, Donald Trump. A man who thinks that let's destroy everything that will get Archie to call on Amnesty International to say this law says that. For Donald Trump, if the UN, the world body, is not going to do as he wish, damn it.
Yeah.
So you need to understand the position of the person you are dealing with. Me, it doesn't surprise me. Again, it's an opportunity for all those who rely on World Health Organization to step out the plate.
Yeah.
He's withdraw 500 million. Okay. How much can Ghana give? Can you give 100,000 more?
Oh, we can do. What did you give 2 million for?
Can China give more? So for me, it's a very good opportunity for World Health Organization, those who believe.
Yeah.
Can we then say that the headquarters of World Health Organization
should be moved out from there? Yeah.
Is there an opportunity to say that the UN should now, that shouldn't be only Geneva and this? For me, Archie, the COVID is an opportunity.
Hey, the COVID well.
Actually, it's an opportunity. Look, an elderly man has raised within a space of less than 1 week.
Yeah, 4 million.
Has raised 4 million from the public.
Yeah.
I was watching SBN. What do you call it? Satellite broadcasting.
Yeah.
That I mean, they were raising 5-point-something million to support their broadcasting. So if US has, withdraw 500 million, are you telling me that Nigeria cannot provide 2 million? When the chapel. That's
what I was saying. That Ghana didn't give 2 million or what?
To France. So can't we give?
We can.
If we benefit from them, this is the time the world bodies, every individual. Actually, if I were the head of World Health Organization, you know what I'll do today?
What?
I'll set up a GoFundMe account.
Yeah.
And I can promise you.
Yeah.
If they set up a GoFundMe account today, get all the media networks to take it within a space of 1 million.
Oh, they would have raised more than. Yeah. But for them, you think that because China wouldn't have come out to be telling us, even the figures that we say they are manipulating, they wouldn't have said it.
They would not even come out.
They wouldn't have known anything.
They would not even tell us. They wouldn't even tell us. So for me, it's an opportunity. World Health Organization, go and create GoFundMe account. I pledge $5.
I play £5.
Actually, if you pay $5 from 550 million, is this the 550 million?
No.
So we start reducing the deficit that the black hole that will be left because the US. So for me, this is an opportunity. World Health Organization, rethink. It's as simple as that.
World Organization, rethink, and I think it's a right call that you've made.
If they set up GoFundMe account today and appeal to everyone to start donating, actually you donate $10.
Oh yeah.
Sister Charlotte to donate $1. Haven't we taken some out
of it?
I mean, come on. Felix has just $20. Kwame, $20.
Kwame will donate more, 100.
Kofi Ali.
Kofi he's worth 1,000.
Equa citizen. We even call on all Equa citizens to donate.
Yeah.
And you know what you do? ECOWAS GoFundMe account.
Now, interestingly, Bill Gates did tweet something after that statement Trump made, and he was saying that halting funding for the World Health Organization during World Health crisis is as dangerous as it sounds. Their work is slowing the spread of COVID-19, and if that work is stopped, no other organization can replace them.
My appeal to Bill Gates of all the work he's doing is to ensure that all the software that are being sold to World Health Organization, the upgrade and the licensing price is donated to them. That will save no less than 50 million.
Oh yeah, of course.
That will save no less than 50 million.
But they are the second largest founder of the WHO. Him, himself, and the wife.
Are you getting me?
Yeah.
So actually, let us step up to the plate. I wish I have where I can support with $5. I have $5 on my card. I would have donated it to them. Actually, they will survive. And you know what? Donald Trump is actually digging. You see, actually, have you seen a situation where you depend on someone or someone supports you and they use that to bully you?
Oh yeah.
They use that to bully you to a point where something within you kicks and you get out over there and you say, what? You know what? Let heaven save me or let me die.
Yeah. And
just as you step out there, you start doing something that begins to look. You even meet a person who tells you are doing 30-day fasting.
Yes.
And therefore you come home and you say, for the next 30 days, the food you are helping me with, I'm not eating. Have you seen the uneasiness that goes with it?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the power, the leverage that they have on you,
it's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone.
That is what the world bodies must start doing. That the US control and dominance. And what Donald Trump is doing, he's destroying America gradually.
Yeah. The power that America had in all those bodies.
Actually, as we speak, IMF has accepted yuan to be a trading currency.
Oh my.
Do you know what that means?
Strengthening China.
You know what that means? It means dollar is being weakened. That I do not have to trade. Buy something from China. It might not come to it might come to a time very shortly. I do not have to exchange my money
to dollars to get it. Yeah.
And back to yuan. No. The EU is trying to launch its own currency. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
We have individuals, companies that are now, even Africa is planning to launch its own digital currency.
Yeah.
So what are you telling me? Do you think France is taking ECO, the West African currency? Do you think they are happy?
At all, they're not.
They are not, right?
Yeah.
So that if Togo need to pay Nigeria for any business, they don't need permission from France.
Yeah.
If they want to award a contract, they don't need
permission
from France. They cannot trade with ECO.
Yeah.
Nigeria and Ghana can trade in ECO because they don't need to trade the oil that they sell, the gas that passes through the West African gas pipeline to power the thermal plants in Abuaji in Ghana. They don't need to price them in dollars
again.
They don't need to do that. They now have a standard currency that they can use if they so choose to. But our leaders, because their loots are all in dollars and pounds, they still want
the dollars to remain.
Anyway.
Wow. Listeners.
They cannot come to HSBC and open an ECO account.
No, they don't spend ECO.
And they cannot go to France and open a French
CFA account.
They can't go to US and open an account that is in ECO. And they don't want to hide the money in Sierra Leone either. They want when there's war in Sierra Leone, they will take a private jet,
fly to
UK, stay at Grosvenor Avenue, and then use their money. And therefore, it will be good when they are signing a contract. They dominate it in They dominate it in dollars, because that way they know the account is going to
enjoy. Oh my, what a day it has been. Listeners, 3 minutes past the top of the hour. We're bringing the program to a close, but let me go to Frank for his final remarks before we bring the catches down.
In fact, today has been an interesting one, a rethinking one. We apologize sincerely, our listeners, for that sound. Yesterday, our engineers changed the sound card and there was an issue. So they're going to work on it. We promise you tomorrow, you're not going to have that. And you see the handsome face. Yesterday, Olayomi bought some new makeup.
Hey, he's got the makeup artist in his house now.
Mrs. Olayomi, thank you for the good job you are doing, allowing Olayomi to do the brilliant job day in, day out.
Yeah.
And we say, but for you, Olayomi cannot do what he's doing.
Of course.
And we say, thank you, madam. You know, behind every handsome man,
it's a beautiful woman.
That your dress is dirty. Are you getting it? So our salute and our respect.
Okay.
Have a wonderful day.
Yes. Bye for now. We'll be coming your way tomorrow once again with the morning show. We'll get back to you. Our technical team is going to work on the issue that was going on, and that's most likely this evening we are bringing you the Niger voices. With Mr. Olayomi Koiki. So don't go away. Enjoy the music that is coming your way. More music. Let's talk. And have a safe day. Keep yourself safe. Stay at home, please. The French one, Frank, you've forgotten now. À la maison. I know that there's à la maison there. Now, à la maison is home. So stay à la maison.
No, I will not. My French is finished.
Okay, so his French is finished. All right, then. So bye for now. Let's take a song from Black Rasta. It says, what? Karo. Enjoy and see you later. Bye bye. It's me, Archie, and Mr. Frank Davis saying, have a top of the day. Bye.
Dun, 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 dun. dun dun dun. What a dangerous thing. Them say wash your hand, wash your mouth, wash your face, and we still are dead like mosquito. It's a virus, virus, virus. It's a virus, Lord. It's a killer, killer, killer. Coronavirus, so dangerous, cantankerous, so murderous, murderous, so murderous. Signs of the end time. Run away, good boy. It's a virus, virus, virus. It's a virus. Dangerous. It's a killer, killer, killer. So dangerous. Coronavirus. So dangerous. Cantankerous. So murderous. Murder. Murderous. So murderous. Come, come, make we pray. No far we are dead night and day. I don't want to be Corona spread. In peace and love and harmony I want stay. Real. Come, make we pray. 'Cause sons of the demons come to play. Pitney man and woman they must slay. I never borrow, why must I pay? Caro, caro, go away, go and never come again. Don't come and spoil with play. Caro, caro, go away. Caro, caro, go away. Caro, caro, go away. It's a virus, virus, virus. It's a virus. It's a killer, killer, killer. So dangerous. Coronavirus, so dangerous, cantankerous, so murderous, murderous, so murderous. Father, Father God, why so? You make the wicked man run the show. Ow. Children no longer go to school. Blood run the place like a pool. Father God, why so? You're giving power to the wicked fool. I want to see the place calm and cool. Father God, we love you, feed true. Real. Caro, caro, go away, go and never come again. Don't come and spoil with play. Caro, caro.